For the 5th consecutive year, America's best short track drivers, NASCAR's Grand National Division, have come to Southern California for the country's premier short track race. Bragging rights are on the line as 40 drivers battle for the title of Showdown Champion. No holds barred. No shortage of adrenaline. No equipment will be spared. 250 laps of excitement from Irwindale Speedway is coming up to determine who is America's best. Speed welcomes you back to America's greatest short track for the 5th annual NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown. Tonight, NASCAR's Grand National Division, the Busch East Series and NASCAR West will go at it for 250 laps, likely the longest race that many of these drivers have ever attempted. So we'll see who is America's best on this night at America's wonderful race place, the 9-year-old Irwindale Speedway. Hi, everybody. Mike Joy with Dick Berggren. Happy to be with you once again for what has always been a great event. And boy, if last night's super late model feature was any indication, we're in for a barn burner tonight. But two things have changed. One, the race distance. It's a lot longer. And two, the age of the drivers at the front of the field.
Oh, let me tell you what. Sean Case on the pole, 21 years old. Outside him, Joey Logano is 17 years old. Total it up, that's 38. The guy that starts third, Mike Duncan, 45.
It's a changing of the guard in NASCAR's level that's just below the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. They are regional series in the sense that the Busch East cars race east of the Mississippi and NASCAR West, of course, races west. And they both race in Minnesota and Iowa, as you see there. Now, the champions of NASCAR's developmental series have also been invited as guaranteed starters, and one of them took NASCAR up on the deal. Andrew Ranger, champ of the Canadian Tire Series, is here, and he will be in the starting field. So a wide range of ages, a wide range of talent and experience in going this kind of distance.
Oh, yeah. We've got people from Mexico, Canada, from Connecticut, from California, all over this entire hemisphere here to do battle.
Who came the furthest? Mike Johnson from Salisbury, Mass. That's 2,999 miles. Let's have a look at some highlights of qualifying last night. Mike David, the West Series champion, got loose off 4 and hooked it into the wall. They had a long night here in the garage area last night, but they've got it fixed. He's ready to race. Mike Duncan came out after the sun went down and laid down a lap that was good for a top 3 spot. Joey Logano, while the sun was still out, took what he thought would be the pole. But Sean Case, who's fought Logano all season long in Busch East, nipped him for the honor. So they will start on the front row. Case in first, Logano in second. There's Sean, driving for Andy Santerre. He's on the pole. Last chance qualifying race for the final 6 positions. That's Mike Johnson ahead of Greg Pursley. Pursley gets together with Antonio Perez of Mexico City. Perez went all the way to the back. They restarted. That's Johnson getting the win over Pursley. Now watch this. Battling for the last transfer spot. 3 cars get together. 2 go spinning in that white car. Again, that's Lopez, or Perez rather. And he gets to the flag with the final transfer spot. When he took the white flag, he had no shot to make it. When he took the checkered flag, he was in the show. That's how quick things change around here. Here's the format for tonight's race. 250 laps with a competition yellow at around lap 100 and 200, where you can make routine adjustments that you could on any yellow flag pit stop, including a brand new set of sneakers. It's all coming up from America's greatest short track. Here's a little bit of what we saw last night. What will it look like tonight for 250 laps? Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown is brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward. Getting close to race time. Grand Marshal Darrell Waltrip's just been announced to the crowd. He's explaining to them what a great facility they have, the likes of which don't exist anywhere else in America, I don't think, for a weekly short track. What a wonderful place. And it produces great racing. That's one thing that makes it so great. Like last year, right here, in the Grand National half of the showdown. That's Matt Kovaluk, number 40. He's leading. Sean Case, Eric Holmes are fighting for second in the closing lap. Holmes, number 62. Last lap. Case to the bottom. They get together. Holmes goes for a spin. Kovaluk goes on to win the biggest race of his career. There's Matt celebrating, and he is in the field tonight to try and defend his title. Here's Ralph Shaheen.
Well, Mike, Matt Kovaluk won this race just last year. Matt, how big of a victory was winning the Toyota All-Star Showdown? Because you've won a lot of races.
Yeah, this was huge. I mean, it was probably the biggest win of my career. You know, you come out here and it's the All-Star race, and it's supposed to be the best of the best. So winning this thing was for bragging rights, and we've had bragging rights for a full year now. So now we're looking to back that up tonight.
Well, this year's race is going to be a little bit longer. Is it going to be the most aggressive race of the year for you as far as how you approach this style of driving tonight?
Yeah, you know, it always is, because everybody here is always running really hard. You know, there's no points tonight. It's all about money and bragging rights. So everyone, they get here and they get psyched up, and everyone runs hard right from the get-go. So, you know, we got a couple breaks during the night to make adjustments. So I'm not worried about burning the tires up or anything else. So we'll go after it. Like, every lap's going to be like it's last.
Well, Matt Kovaluk will certainly be a strong contender to go back-to-back with victories here at Irwindale in this All-Star Showdown. But another young driver is looking for his first win here in Irwindale, and he's standing by with my partner on pit road, Jim Trado.
Indeed, Ralph, the story really started at the beginning of the year when NASCAR changed the Grand National rules to where the drivers could be 16 years of age or older. Well, that made a big change for Joe Gibbs Racing and their development of driver Joey Logano. At 16, he went west. He won the West Series race at Phoenix International Raceway. He went on to win 4 of the next 8, the 4 of the first 8 races in the Busch East Series to become the youngest and first Rookie of the Year and champion in the Busch East Series. It's easy to say he set this series this season on its ear.
Yeah, it was definitely a great season, you know, all year. You know, I mean, even after that, I mean, we almost won half the races of the year, so definitely a stellar year for us. You know, it was cool to get a first win, first race out in Phoenix, you know, where everyone was. It was pretty neat. It was surprising, and then at the same time, you know, I mean, I think the whole Joe Gibbs organization goes out to every race, you know, expecting to win. So, you know, we expected to win that race. You know, it doesn't happen every time, but that's what we do every racetrack we go to.
As far as tonight goes, the teenager has the strategy worked out.
The first portion is going to be to stay out of trouble and figure out what your car is going to be doing. You know, really the first 200 laps of this race is going to be like a 200-lap test pretty much for us. Just make sure we get the car good for the last 50, and that's when the race is going to be on. And, you know, it's really going to get big, and we'll see what happens there.
He's had a great season, as you see from the stats, but you win enough races, no matter how young you are, the world beats a path to your door. Logano was discovered by the Hartford Courant's Sean Kershane when he was just a little kid running quarter midgets at Thompson, Connecticut.
Yeah, but Mark Martin put him on the national map when Mark decided he was going to run a partial schedule in Nextel Cup racing, asked who he should put in the car. He said Joey Logano, who at the time was only 14 years old. Mark said he's ready for it.
And the phone calls started coming. Now, he'll share the front row with Sean Case. And there's a story between those two.
Oh, boy, there sure is. Last points race of the year, Dover, Delaware, and Logano was leading the race. Case came up, bammed into the back bumper, put Logano out. Logano afterwards was very mad, said he should have at least tried to pass me. So these guys don't necessarily like each other, and they have run into each other.
Well, we've heard one side of that equation. Let's get the other from Ralph.
That is, of course, Sean Case, who is starting on our pole tonight. Upstairs, they've been talking about the rivalry that's been developing between you and the driver that's going to start alongside you tonight, Joey Logano. How do you take that rivalry? What's your approach?
My approach is, you know, everybody wants to be raced the way you race each other, and, you know, I'm just going to go race him clean, and hopefully we can make it 200 laps to the last 50-lap dash, and we'll settle it there. He's a great driver, great talent, and I'm just really excited that I have the opportunity to race against great talent, just like we have in the rest of the field. So we qualified first. We got good track position. Hopefully we can stay in the top 5 through the whole race and make a run for it at the end.
Sean Case came very close to winning this race last year, and there's 2 people that will be guiding him, hopefully, to victory here tonight. One is Andy Santerre. The other is Shane Wood. That's Shane's face right there on the dash. This youngster passed away due to cancer just a couple of months ago at the very young age of 8 years old. Sean got to know Shane, and they developed a very strong relationship. That's the last face he looks at every year race just before they drop that green flag, Mike.
Thanks, Ralph, for getting ready to race in Irwindale. Pre-race ceremonies are winding down. We come back, we're going racing. This is going to be fun. There's tonight's flagman at Irwindale Speedway. He has the nice crisply pressed embroidered shirt, the headset radio, a full set of flags. There's only one problem. Not up on the flag stand. But that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. A lot of racetracks have kids like that that'll come down with a set of flags and enjoy themselves and learn how it's done. And that kid's good, Mike. He knows how to wave them.
Yes, he does. Well, maybe he coached David Giotto from Toyota, from Toyota Race Development, who will be our honorary starter tonight. 40 cars set to go, 26 of them determined by time, then 8 provisionals, then 6 from the last chance race. You've heard all about Case and Logano, who share the front row. Veteran Mike Duncan among the 3 kids around him, including Mark Davis, Brian Eichler, last year's winner Matt Kovaluk, Foster, Thompson, Sellers, and McDonald. The top 10 by time. Here's your second 10, mostly from the West Coast. Very few East Coasters in positions 11 through 20. In fact, I don't see one. And you'll see provisional starters beginning with Eric Harden and Mike Olson, a former Busch East champ. Hayes and Haas took 4 of the provisionals. Engelbright, Thurio, Salemi, and Smith took the others. And the final 6 drivers, headed by Mike Johnson and Greg Persley, got in from the last chance race. They're on the pace laps. We're ready to race. You know, just might be a 3-boogity night. We'll have to wait and see. The Toyota Tundra has the field in tow as we're on the pace laps. They'll take 5 of them to get everything up to temperature for these cars that have been impounded since qualifying yesterday afternoon. Boy, you leave the door unlocked, you never know what's going to walk in. Hi, Daryl.
Hello.
No, welcome. This was planned, and we're just happy to have you join us.
Listen, this is one of my favorite events, Mike. I watched it last year. You and Doc did this on TV. I was back home, and I said, next year I'm going to be there. By golly, this is an exciting race, and I'm glad to be here.
Good deal. Let's have a look at our onboard cameras. We have 5 of them tonight. Moses Smith from Tempe, Arizona, number 78, starting deep in the field. He had the last provisional spot available. Alex Haas is from Las Vegas. He's driving for Star Nursery and Kyle Busch Motorsports, and at number 88. He's a Kyle Busch development driver.
Another one.
Yeah.
How do you do that at 21?
We'll explain later. Eric Richardson from Bakersfield. He starts 21st tonight in the number 50, the Green Frog Racing entry. Number 81 is Brett Thompson from Jerome, Idaho. The Pets Best Vacom Technologies Chevrolet. And you heard earlier from Brian Eichler. Here's the view out his Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, number 16, starting 5th.
Mike David, Mike Olson are going to drop to the back. David, a lot of work done on his car after he hammered the wall. And Olson because he had to change a rear gear, which he lost in qualifying. Let's get out of the pits.
There's going to be 2 pit stops tonight, Dick. One is going to come at or near lap 100, the other at or near lap 200. The 50 laps prior to that second pit stop are going to be very important tonight. Most of the crew chiefs are saying, I want my guy to go as hard as he possibly can right then, so we get a good idea of how we need to adjust that car for that final 50-lap sprint tonight, Jim.
Well, West Series champion Mike David yesterday had a guaranteed spot, but yet in qualifying spun. 9 hours later, the team has the Bennett Lane Winery Ford back on the racetrack. He'll have to start at the tail after replacing the nose, the air box, the radiator, steering box, oil cooler, the die rods, and ball joint. He'll have to do it from the back, guys. He came up to second last year. We'll see what he can do with that damaged race car.
Thanks, Jim. These are probably not the only fireworks we're going to see tonight. Darrell?
Well, it's one of my most fun things to do. Coming off of turn 4, the green flag's in here. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys and girls!
Trouble on the start for Mark Davis in the 18. He fell from 4th all the way back to 8th as Sean Case will lead them off turn 4 for the first lap.
Fast lane has been upstairs throughout the weekend.
They were 4 wide in the back coming off turn 4.
Some of the guys I was talking to about the cars here, they like that high line because with the big carburetor and the engine package they have, it's about momentum. And that high line is where you get all that good momentum off the corner.
This track is progressively banked. The low groove is the flattest, the high groove is the steepest, but of course it's the long way around. Front 7 single file. There's the first side-by-side action with the number 8 down low, Johnny Borneman. Borneman to the inside, trying to take advantage of 65 or 66 there.
I think you'll see
Foster.
Mike, you'll see the old slide job a lot here tonight. You come in on that bottom line carrying a lot of speed, and you've just got the car, you got to let the car run up and take that line that outside line away.
Up front, it's all single file, but in the back of the pack, they are 2 wide, 3 wide, and all over each other.
One of the problems with running down low is that the tires, you wear your tires out quicker because you've got a lot tighter turn that you got to run off of, and that makes that right rear tire give up a lot quicker. So the high line takes care of those tires longer.
There's number 2, Mike David, coming up from the back after crashing his car in qualifying. As you saw, he gives up a spot there to Moses Smith, takes it right back. Behind him, Woody Pitkat, and the 6 is the runner-up in the Whelen All-American Series of NASCAR for 2007, driving a set backup Mike Olson car.
He had to qualify through the Consi last night, and just about everybody in the pits, it seemed, helped Mike David in that number 2 car get the car back together again. Some of the folks provided food, others provided steel. 2 people brought welders over. One of the other teams offered and put the front end back on the car, hung the nose of it. It was a group effort, and Mike just sort of stood there and watched and said, this is what's so nice about racing people.
I'll tell you something, Doc. I was looking at the car. It's one of the best looking cars here, paint job wise. You can't tell that it was almost total last night. They did an amazing job on that car.
Mike David trying to move up from the back. He's currently 34th in this 40-car field and slides up just a bit. Third place battle as Joey Logano was under fire from Brian Eichler. You're riding with Eichler.
I like what we heard from Eichler in pre-race, Mike. He talked about wanting to go very hard early in the race to see how the tires would behave on a relatively short run, say about 40 or 50 laps. That's going to be the last segment. What he learns could be of enormous benefit to him as we get into that final 50-lap segment.
It doesn't surprise me to see that 16 car run up front, because every time I've been here, that car has been the car to beat. It won this race, 3 years ago?
First time.
With Austin Cameron.
With Austin Cameron at the wheel. And to see it up there fighting for the lead, no big surprise.
4-car breakaway in the early laps as Eichler continues trying to get past Logano. Let's drop you back to 7th place. Mark Davis in the 18, Johnny Borneman in the 8. Car against the wall, front straightaway, slowing. That's Jeff Barkshire from Idaho. Luckless in previous attempts here, and now he brings out the night's first caution.
He got in the wall pretty hard over here in 3 and 4, and knocked the whole right front of the thing in.
Barkshire is 0 for 4 going into tonight, finishing races at this speedway. He may be 0 for 6.
Let's take a look and see what happened here, Doc. It looks like up in the middle of 3 and 4 here, you'll see him. He's already in the wall, so it had some kind of problem. May have had a right front go down on that car because it went up pretty quickly.
First caution of the night comes at lap 13 for Jeff Barkshire. All restarts are double file. Here we go.
And I like that, Mike, especially in a race like this.
Oh, the 18 didn't go, Darrell. Trouble for Mark Davis, and they're really stacking up around him. That could be trouble.
Well, I don't know what happened. Maybe he missed the shift, Mike, on that start because the car's now back up to speed. But, boy, that put him in a deep hole.
Well, he lost 6 spots on the initial start. There's something about that car that just doesn't come up to speed quickly.
It's got to be a gearbox issue, because once it gets going, it takes right on off. I mean, he's passing cars pretty easily now.
Speaking of passing, second place is the race right now. Mike Duncan's trying to hold it. Joey Logano on the inside, and that Joe Gibbs number 20.
Now, this is what you got to like about this joint right here. That 20 car on the bottom, a 9 up on the top, 16 up there. And look at them, drag race down the back. Now, into the turn, the 20 will get a little advantage, and then the 9 fights back on the outside. It just makes for exciting racing here.
I'm surprised to see Sean Case running off like this. He told me this afternoon that his race strategy was going to be to run at his pace and only his pace. He wasn't going to run terribly hard at the beginning of this thing. If he had to, he was going to drop back no further than 7th, but he was going to save the car. He is saving nothing at all.
Well, maybe this is his pace, Dick.
If it is, everybody else is in trouble.
Back when Andy Santerre drove this car here, he handily won the first segment of one of these races.
Yes, he did, but the difference in that car tonight and when Andy drove it, Andy drove it on the bottom. He was hooked up under the white line that whole night, and I actually think it cost him winning the race.
You're right. Second is the contest. Eichler loose, and he almost gets up into Duncan.
Boy, that was close.
Eichler in that 16 won here. This West Series came here in the middle of the summer. He led more laps than anybody else, won the race, so he surely knows how to win here.
Let's show you what happened to Brian Eichler in the 16 right here.
This is what happens when you run the bottom like this. You just pinch the car down. You need the whole track to drift up, but the 9 was there, had to cut it a little hard. He got out from under him.
Duncan in that 9 car, long associated with Lucas Oil. Tonight's the last night. We'll see Lucas on the side of that car. Duncan looking for a new sponsor for next year.
Brian Foster coming on the outside of the 66 of Justin Lofton. They're racing back at 16th position.
It is all stacked up back there, Mike.
Tim Woods right behind them in the 54. And also the 5 of Eric Harden, the yellow car.
In that 9 car, Duncan, in that Bill Sedgwick, and he the crew chief on that car?
Bill Sedgwick, the crew chief.
Whoa, 4 wide. Darryl, look at this. 4 abreast going into the corner.
They can do it, buddy.
It's David Mayhew in the 21. Looked like a potential winner last night in the race. Blew up, heading for the front.
Here's Ralph.
Mike, we weren't the only ones surprised about the pace that Sean Case is running at the front here. Even Andy Santerre, his crew chief, when I talked to him moments ago, said, well, that's a little faster than I'd like to see him run right now. I decided to let him set the pace, but that's even faster than I'm comfortable with. Sandy just got on the radio moments ago and told him, look, you got a huge lead. You can back that off a little bit and save the car. The only problem with the car right now is it's a little tight in the center of the corner. So don't be surprised if the 9 starts reeling him in Case is easing up on the throttle.
That's my kind of driver. Slow him down. You don't have to speed him up. That's the kind of guy you want.
But if he's tight now and they're going to adjust that thing, oh, baby.
You remember when you were 21 on how hard you were to slow down?
Yeah. I remember calling Buddy Parrott and saying, leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
I think Sean Case does too for right now. But he's got a lead of half a straightaway here, and that is one of the biggest early leads we've ever seen in the 5 years of this race.
Yeah, it certainly is a big surprise. Duncan, the veteran, age 45, running in second spot.
Let's go back to 10th place, where Eric, caution, turn 4.
They're all
big
stacked
pile up.
And that would be not a big one, but a pretty big one. A pretty big one anyway.
Yeah, Ryan Philpott's in it. 09, the Canadian Andrew Ranger, the nose of his car is all pushed in.
Got the 12 going down through. He's pretty well wiped out.
37, Michelle Theriault, she's in it.
Oh, heck, Michelle's in it.
Yeah.
Driving Jeff Spraker's car.
Yeah, Spraker's car. I talked to them before the race, and Michelle was pretty confident. Said the car was decent.
So we just had the pretty big one. Is this what happens when you and I get 4 months off?
Yeah.
Get Larry on line 2.
And Jim Englebright's in the pits. His car has been up. Oh, man, that 12 is damaged big time.
If Larry was here, we at least would know how many times they've raced that car.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whether it's a Laughlin or a Hopkins.
That's right. Well, Antonio Perez got the last spot, and he just got up and over and into. My goodness.
That was bigger than I thought.
That was the big one, Darryl.
What's
Sure was.
I have at least 7 cars involved. Let's ride along with Moses Smith.
Whoa! Perez got way up there.
You know, one thing about that high line up there and the way the track is banked, you see how those cars all just locked it up and spun out?
Yeah.
I mean, the backs just came right around. They must have a lot of rear brake jacked in these cars.
Well, the other problem with that high line, Darrell, is you've only got one way you can go, and that's down. If you're on the bottom, you can go up or down to avoid the crash. So that might be a good strategy now.
That is the remains of the car of Antonio Perez, who last night earned the last spot in the field on the last lap, and tonight may be the first car out of the race. They had 2 big ones in the truck race at Martinsville today before Mike Skinner finally got to the checkered flag first, so you won't want to miss next Saturday when the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series takes on Atlanta, live 12:30 p.m. Eastern and only on Speed. Getting set for the restart, Sean Case has led every lap. Now Mike Duncan's alongside. Eichler and Logano row 2, Sellers and Smith, Kovaluk, McDonald, Lynch and Berry the top 10. Green flag.
This top 10 is pretty predictable, Mike. These guys they've been here, they know the racetrack, they really get around here well. No big surprise at the guys that are up front right now.
Riding with third place Brian Eichler. As we cross 39 laps, Mike Duncan in the 9, chasing 21-year-old Sean Case from Pelham, New Hampshire.
Who we have just learned can run the bottom as well as the top.
I'll tell you what I like about the 44 car, though. He just is able to accelerate up off the corner, nice and straight, and you can tell he's putting down a lot of power. He gets that little advantage every time he comes off the corner.
Ooh, who was that getting real loose on the bottom? That was Johnny Borneman in the 8.
They were 3 deep coming off turn 2.
He was battling Stephen Berry for 10th. And we're right in the midst of that battle with Eric Richardson. Just ahead, the 81 of Brett Thompson from Idaho. There they are. 6 cars under a blanket. This battle's for 10th place.
It's just really tempting to go to the bottom because it's open for one thing, but man, there's just not any.
Oh, around goes Berry.
Oh, it's still going on. They're still running into each other.
Boy, I'll tell you one thing. Oh, Dave Matthews in that 21 car, he did an incredible job getting through there.
Darrell, what I don't understand is that aftermath of the caution flag. There's caution lights all around the track. There's spotters with radios up on the roof. You cannot improve your position because scoring reverts to the last completed lap at the start-finish line. And yet, everybody's going through there with their foot flat on the gas.
Well, Mike, I would like to tell you that all those things that you just said are true. But as a driver, it just doesn't happen that way.
I know.
It just things happen, and you just can't respond. We can't react quite that quickly. But it makes perfectly good sense.
Justin Lofton was in that thing as well.
Yeah.
Tim Woods, one of the local favorites here. Oh man, Lofton's car is really torn up.
Yeah, he took
the hood just popped up in front of him.
No, I'm with you, Darrell. And plus, it's the natural inclination when trouble starts. Get out of there.
Yeah, well,
as fast as you can.
You just, on a track like this, you're in the gas. All of a sudden, lights are flashing, and you say there's a wreck, and you just can't get off the gas and on the brake quite quick enough. Oh, man, the 3 car. That's a little buddy of mine. I was talking to him before the race started down here. He's Stephen Berry. He's sponsored by Liberty University, where he goes to school. And his schoolmates helped him put this car together. I was hoping he'd have a good night.
He just took up an awful lot of racetrack when he got sideways and gave everybody a pretty big target.
Well, as you can see, Doc, like I said, you just can't have a single car accident here. He's down on the bottom, and he gets loose, gets up into the 81 car there of Brett Thompson, and when he does, you see the 3 down underneath him here. You see a little smoke, and here we go.
Thompson got away unscathed.
Actually, he did.
Yeah. Tim Woods going out on the hook.
Tough break for the Chino Hills Ford. Woods has run well in these events these last few years, but hasn't had the finishes he'd like. Sean Case is still our leader. Along with Stephen Barry, behind the wall goes Tim Woods and Justin Lofton. And during that caution, a lengthy pit stop for Mark Davis, Joe Gibbs number 18. We're ready to restart to complete 48 laps. Sean Case, Mike Duncan, Brian Eichler.
Wouldn't count that 40 car out either. He's just lurking right there, kind of hanging in there with these front four guys. He knows how to get around this joint. We know that for sure. Winner of this race last year.
It's Matt Kovaluk from Connecticut.
Second the year before that, and second the year before that. So he's got 2 seconds and a first his last 3 runs here.
I believe a little bit of tire management is not a bad idea in this in these races. Save a little something for those last few laps.
Mike Duncan had a runoff 2 on the outside on Sean Case, and Sean's giving him the top of the racetrack.
Again, that 44 car, Sean is just getting off the corner so well. He really can open up a little. See that gap come in there when he comes off turn 2, particularly. Really pulls about 4 or 5 car lengths.
Side by side for 5th.
Peyton Sellers on the bottom. That team ran the whole year on 1 car, 1 motor. His crew chief is his brother. His dad is usually with him. We're missing you tonight, Dad.
And they finished in the Busch East Series ahead of teams that spent more than 2.5 times as much to run the season as they did. They got a lot done with very little.
His dad one time pointed to a couple of trophies on the wall and said, "That's our new home right up there." Spent all sorts of money trying to help his kid become a superstar, and it's happened.
Boy, Eichler is really getting impatient with Joey Logano. He's had a fender alongside of him a number of times here. They made a little contact. 16's wanting to go. Put the bumper to him a couple of times.
Here's Ralph.
Tremendous amount of work going on the front end of Justin Lofton's car. Justin, what happened in that incident?
You know, I don't know. The 3 got spun. I don't know if the 8 hit him or exactly what, but you know, someone just spun in front of us and we hit him, spun around, and the 54 got us. And, this is how it goes. The second showdown for me like this, which is real unfortunate for everyone in the Lofton Racing Group and Kinetic and Klotz and everyone. We had a real awesome car. Started 22nd. I think we're up to like 14th or something, but oh well, we're going to get fixed and try to burn some laps.
Well, Stephen Barry was involved in that as well, and he's out of his car. Stephen, can you tell me your perspective, what that incident was all about?
You know, well, first of all, I'd just like to thank God and Liberty University for giving me this opportunity. We wouldn't be able to be here without them. We were just hard racing. Our car was perfect. We were just, you know, it's a long race, 250 laps, and the guy kept holding me down. I just passed him and restarted before. And we just had the littlest slight of contact. He didn't give us enough room. Maybe I didn't give enough room. I don't know. Just hard racing. And just got, you know, lost it. And I'm sorry for my sponsors. I'd like to thank Toyota for giving us a big show here. And hopefully we'll come back next year full time and show them what it's all about and show them what I can really do.
Thanks, fellas. Now, of the drivers involved in that incident, Tim Woods was checked and released. He is okay. Michelle Theriot walked away, walked to the ambulance, took the ride to the care center. They are going to take her to a local hospital for observation, but she was walking, talking, and seemed to be okay, just shook up a little bit.
And then Stephen Barry there, just a really nice kid. I talked to him before the race. Limited funds, doesn't have a lot of experience. Hate to see him have trouble tonight.
And as you have noticed, Eichler has passed Joey Logano.
Yeah, I think if I were Logano, I would have probably let him go sooner than he did because Eichler was getting very impatient. He's got a fast car. I think he's going to be able to get up here and challenge.
Good battle here. You're watching Eddie McDonald on the outside of the 50, Eric Richardson.
And if you like low buck racers, cheer for Eddie McDonald in that number 48. He's got one of the smallest trailers here. In the middle of the afternoon, they had a huge chain. What were they working on? The trailer, trying to tie it together. It had a big sag in the middle, and they've got to tow all the way back to New England with that sagging old trailer.
But Doc, you listen to that engine in the car. That's the deal on these crate engines and these spec engines. Not a lot of RPM, but you can tell a lot of power. Not that 9,500 that we hear in a Cup car.
And this kid McDonald is really good. Driver number 48. He won a race earlier this year at Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Everything he gets into, he's fast.
Listen to this thing come up off the corner now. Sound like an old Harley Davidson or something.
McDonald has cleared that pair, racing side by side. Richardson and Nick Lynch in the 29. Now at second place. And Brian Eichler keeps marching to the front.
And he was just right out sideways going into the first corner, Mike, trying to get by Mike Duncan.
I think Eichler, he's going to wear his rear tires out because he has been sideways a lot, I tell you. He's fast, but he's using up a lot of right rear tires.
But remember his strategy, Darrell. What he wanted to do was to run hard and see how the tires would behave. At lap 100 or thereabouts, they get a chance to come in, put 4 fresh ones on. So he is studying. He's going to school on those tires.
He needs to talk to Harry Hogg. We'll do it your way, then we'll do it my way.
There you go. I'll tell you what, he's rocking sideways a lot of the time.
Every corner, exit of every corner, he just turns to dirt tracks are watching.
Well, it'll be his undoing if he loses it, for sure.
66 laps complete. At lap 100, we'll have a competition yellow, and these drivers will get 7 minutes to make adjustments and fire on 4 fresh tires. This is the same Goodyear tire that all these cars run on oval tracks under 1 mile. So the teams are very familiar with how these tires should perform for them. 7th, 8th, and 9th. Now 2 laps ago, that 29 of Nick Lynch was flat out sideways coming out of turn number 2, and it brought him right back into the clutches of Richardson in the 50.
And Lynch is doing a really nice job here this weekend. This is the first time he has been behind the wheel of a race car all year long. He is the younger brother to Scott, who today ran the Craftsman Truck Series race at Martinsville, Virginia. So it's a family car. Nick got the ride. Remember a couple years ago, Mike, when he won the elite qualifier here?
Yes.
In the showdown?
I just love that sound. That's pretty cool. High gear, a lot of power. That's why the high line is so effective here. With that high gear and that torque, you just run around the top, keeps it wound up. You lay that up against a 9,500 RPM Cup engine, that thing sounds like a bullfrog. Cup engine sounds like a bumblebee.
Leaders are getting into lap traffic now down in turn number 1. Sean Case is having to pick his way around some of the slower cars, but Mike Duncan has been unable to stay right up near him. Case maintains that lead even with the heavy traffic.
Well, I noticed that again, is dirt tracking that thing off the corner. I just don't see how his tires are going to make it.
Now Case has got him double wide ahead. Woody Pitcat gives way in the number 6. And the 28 of Chris Bristol.
It's going to get interesting here now, Mike, with these guys catching the back of the field, working lap traffic. It's going to be interesting to see what line they pick.
Ralph?
You know, Mike, everything you're saying about Sean Case is exactly what you would think. But on the radio, the conversation is 180 degrees the other way. He just told Andy Santerre moments ago, the longer we go,
he got
sideways.
He got dumped by one of the lap cars. I can't believe it.
That is unbelievable.
That's the end of that run.
My. And he was not doing anything. He was just working his way through traffic, and the 78 car clipped him and turned him around.
Darrell, I think if anything, he was a little slow that time coming up off turn 4, trying to judge the traffic ahead of him, and the 78 just drove right through him.
And Moses Smith in the 78 car clipped him, and when he did, it sent him for a ride.
And this crowd is stunned because Case has handily led this race.
And Andy, I'm sure, just cannot believe what he just saw. Unbelievable.
Ralph?
Andy, how stunned are you over what you just saw?
I can't believe it. I mean, had a dominant car, you know, the Casella Way System Chevy was on a rail. Told me he was running 80%. And just picking them off one at a time, he was actually being patient. And it looked to me like he just drove up behind him and dumped him after he passed him, and it was a lap car, so totally shocked. But I want to thank Casella Way Systems and Castle High Tech, everybody that's helped us all year, Sunoco Race Fuels, and just long way to go for something like that to happen.
Andy, what is it about you and this facility? You came here so many years as a driver and got so close to it. Now you come out here as a crew chief. You had the car to beat, and again, just the craziest thing happens. Is this place just a black mark for you to try to get over?
I guess just too far away from home for me. So I know Toyota had a 5-year deal here. And we like the racetrack. We brought a car here that was capable of winning every year, whether it was me driving or Sean Case, but just not meant to be. It's real disappointing. We worked hard on this thing, and everybody at the shop. I want to thank Tony's Racing Engines for giving us an awesome engine. I think we're just hauling the mail today. And thank Kyle Wagner for his work all year. He builds all of our spec motors, and we had great luck with them as well. So boy, it's a tough one to swallow. You know, it's tough to stand here at this pit box and not say something, but we try to be a good sport, and we were here to win, and I think we had the best car. But I want to say hi to my daughter Sarah at home if she's watching. I love you. I'll be home tomorrow. Just real disappointed right now.
Jim?
Well, this is the reason why Mark Davis has had so many issues tonight on starts and restarts. He started 4th tonight, 2nd row, but the carburetor has been flooding over on the starts, guys. He's not able to clear it out enough. It wasn't a gearing issue. It was actually the carburetor, severe enough where they've asked NASCAR, what's the penalty if we change the carburetor? They're going to do it now, not at the lap 100 break.
Thanks, Jim. This whole place is stunned. You're leading the race. You're running away from everybody.
You see,
and you get hit.
The 44 car just gotten by the 78 car, and he's coming up on the front straightaway. And the way that 44 has been coming up off the corner, I just can't imagine he had an issue. But maybe he got down low and lost a little momentum up off the corner. Not sure. That's just uncalled for.
I'm going to be like Andy. I'm going to bite my tongue.
I'm like Andy. It's hard to stand here and not say something, but that was all I can say is very unnecessary. You have to respect the leader. You're getting lapped. I understand trying to race hard to stay on the lead lap, but you're passed.
Ralph.
Mike, when I interviewed Sean Case yesterday after qualifying, your hands were shaking with excitement. Now they're shaking, I'm sure, for a different reason. How disappointed are you right now?
I'm disappointed. We had a great car. We were just riding up front. Had a great piece. I think we would have had something for those boys at the end. I'm riding around 80%. Just a shame for all my guys that put a lot of heart and soul coming out here to California, put a good show on for the fans and people watching back at home. But I just got to thank everybody. I'm just proud to be out here and representing such a great sponsor, Casella Waste Systems, for helping me out all year. We finished 2nd in points. We won a bunch of races this year, had a good time, and it's a shame. But you know what? You win some and lose some, and you can't hang your head down on it. It's unfortunate what ended up happening, but I'm still really happy for all my guys and all my sponsors for helping me out this year.
Can you fathom any idea as to why that incident took place?
Nope, I can't. I was just picking those lap cars off, and I don't even know who ended up getting into me there, but for whatever reason, things happened the way it did, and things happen for a reason. But just everyone from back home, all the fans out there watching, thank you for all the support, and I appreciate Speed Channel for coming out here and doing some broadcasting for us, and Toyota for putting on such a great event for us.
Any consolation in knowing you were the fastest guy here tonight?
Yeah, we knew we had a great car. Andy Santerre's won a bunch of races and championships. He's always giving me a great piece underneath you. And a good thing about young drivers, the first thing you need to learn is you're as good as your equipment. And I showed that tonight under Andy Santerre Motorsports. Just gave me a great car. The number 44 Casella Waste Systems Chevrolet was awesome fast. Just a shame because we had a great piece. And just got to thank all my guys, all the support from everybody, and my sponsor, Casella Waste Systems. And we'll be back. We'll see what's going on. I'm going to be running a race for Germain Motorsports, hopefully coming up here soon, and we'll see what we can do.
That is a young gentleman who is growing up in a hurry.
Yeah, it is. But I loved his composure. For a young man, he wasn't slamming anybody. He wasn't blaming anybody. He's disappointed, just like Andy is, and I don't blame him.
I am so surprised that he was able to hold his composure to anybody and not just lash out.
Yeah, I'd be standing there saying, "Get me a name. I want a name."
And I want to be in his pit when he comes in because we're going to have a discussion.
That's right.
So for the first time tonight, we have a new leader. There's the other driver involved. Yeah. But the new leader is Mike Duncan. He and Brian Eichler from the West Series, they're on the front row for the double file restart. 2 East drivers, Matt Kobaluk and Joey Logano in row 2. We're back under green. 81 laps complete.
Well, that 9 took off. I'll tell you that. Duncan didn't waste any time, but I got to believe it. The old 40 car, I'm keeping an eye on him. He's very, very consistent and very smooth.
Same car he won with last year, Darrell, but it's a whole different setup underneath it, which is very typical of the way that Kovaluk does things. He rarely returns to a racetrack with what he had before, even if he's a winner.
That 16 car now, Eichler, I know one thing. He doesn't mess around.
No.
He doesn't mind putting a bumper to you.
He just got up and tickled the bumper of Mike Duncan coming off 2.
He's kind of like, reminds me of Earnhardt. I'm just going to rattle his cage a little bit here.
Just want you to know I'm here.
I'm back here and I'm coming.
Patience is a good idea right now. We're about 18 laps away from the competition caution, where everybody's going to get a chance to make adjustments and put 4 fresh tires on it.
Might just get here with these last few laps, Doc, to find out who's been kind of holding a little bit back and conserving and saving their tires.
17 laps to the first competition yellow. It's Duncan, Eichler, Kovaluk, Logano, and Peyton Sellers, the front 5, and they've broken away from the pack just a bit, with Eddie McDonald 6th, Nick Lynch, and Eric Richardson.
Boy, that bottom is so inviting. Get down there, really get a nice run. You think you got it going, but coming off the corner, it's just hard to keep it underneath the guy on the outside.
You saw Peyton Sellers in that white number 83 trying just that, going to the bottom, see how it worked. He's back upstairs again.
Yeah, not only the way they're lined up right now, if you get out on the bottom and you get a little crossed up, you're going to lose more in a spot. So you got to protect your position as well as try to find a way around the guys in front of you.
I'm impressed with Mike David, number 2. He's the champion of the West Series, and remember, they heavily damaged the car in time trials yesterday. Started this race in the back, and there's his car in yellow, up to 15th place. It's been a long climb, but he's more than halfway there.
Well, like I always say, sometimes you can fix them better at the track than you can at the shop.
That one's got a bent frame, though, Darrell.
Well, maybe they bent it the right way.
Maybe.
Take it home and find out what you fixed about it.
88 laps complete. Speed's presentation of the NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward. 96 laps complete, 4 laps until the competition yellow as we ride along with Brett Thompson in 14th place.
And speaking of Toyota, Mike, with Skinner's victory today at Martinsville, I think that locked up the Manufacturers Championship for them again this year.
Well done. 3 laps, we'll expect the caution. Mike Duncan, Brian Eichler, Matt Kovaluk, and Peyton Sellers has now moved to 4th. Hot battle here for 9th place. Or excuse me, for 13th place, John Salemi and Brett Thompson. There is Duncan, and you see he's all alone. He has stepped it out on Brian Eichler by about 8 car lengths.
That might be the world's biggest 9 I ever saw in a race car.
You can read it.
It's number 9 for sure. Engine.
4th place, Peyton Sellers trying to hold off Joey Logano in the 20. Caution. That'll be it. That'll be the competition yellow, the first of 2 that we will have tonight.
Well, I know the 9 won that segment, but I tell you a guy that I was impressed with was the 16, Eichler. He ran that car sideways that whole 100 laps. I didn't think his tires would hold up long enough for him to be where he is, but he pulled it off.
And Mike David from the last row came to 13th. Mike Olson came from 40th to 16th in that run.
I hope that's not what that guy sees, what I see on my screen there.
That oil?
Pretty cloudy.
Yeah. While we were in break, NASCAR had the Sean Case incident under review, having a look at the contact that was made that put the leader out of the race from Moses Smith. Here's Jim.
Well, guys, Brian Eichler's crew is very happy with the race car. Craig Rodman is his crew chief, a veteran of the West Coast, and of course a chassis builder in his day, and certainly has made this team work. 3 wins this season, but these guys are worried about tightening the car up a little bit. And it's almost a universal phrase on the pit road here as we're checking with crew chiefs down here. What are you going to change? We got to tighten the car up just a bit. But this is the same car they won with on July 4th. They're very happy with the race car at this point. Just want to tighten up just a little bit. So we'll see if that is the theme down here in this first break.
Now, even though this will be an extended pit stop, they'll have about 7 minutes to get their work done. Only 4 men are allowed over the wall. And here's a list of what they're allowed to do.
Plenty of time for what you can do to these cars. Most important change, 4 fresh tires.
Basically, what you cannot do is lift the hood or the deck lid and do any work underneath without the approval of an official.
Similar to the rules for the All-Star race at Charlotte. Things that you can do on a normal pit stop pretty much is what you're allowed to do.
Puts a lot of pressure on the crew chief to get it right, because the last major adjustments that were made to these cars were before the time trials, before qualifying. And they haven't been able to mess with them very much since. This is the first time they're going to be able to do much of anything, and it still isn't a whole lot.
You know, it's what makes racing, our kind of racing, fun. It's up to the driver has got to be able to relate to the team, to the crew chief, what he needs in the race car, what the car's doing, what he suggests that they do to the car to make it better for him. He's the guy driving the thing. He's the onboard computer.
Duncan, the leader, he'll be the first guy into the pits, and nobody can work on their cars until every car is stopped. Nice run for Greg Pursley, who came out of second in the last chance qualifying race last night. Here's his number 77. He's raced his way up to 25th position. How about those flames?
They are all over the place.
We've been waiting for you to see that car.
That car is on fire.
And he won the Super Late Model 150, beating Rip Michaels last night in one of the best races they've seen here at Irwindale in a long time.
Well, it wasn't for lack of flames, I can tell you that. Isn't it funny how flames have come on? I mean, you know, when we first started, who was the first guy we saw with flames? Jeff Gordon, maybe?
Yes.
And, you know, that had
when we started doing NASCAR on
prominent,
Fox.
yeah, in 2001. Yeah. Since then, over the last 7 years, every car has a little bit of a flame on them somewhere.
Well, you need to take some credit for that, because you have pointed out that if you put flames on the car, it's faster.
It's always faster. Jeff's is always faster.
All right, when all the cars are stopped, the starter will wave a flag. There's the green flag. That means work can commence. And they'll have about 7 minutes to get that done. Then they'll line them back up again.
Greg Pursley's number 77. He's won here 25 times. Jim?
Well, guys, Moses Smith ran clean all season long in the West Series, but has been the story thus far with Sean Case, the race leader. What did happen, in your opinion, Moses?
You know, I think it was just a misjudgment, maybe both on the 44 and myself. You know, I came through, I knew he was the leader, and I thought I gave him plenty of room. I guess I was a little bit quicker on the exit there, and, you know, I feel real bad that the 44 car and I got together. But, you know, I think we're all just real hungry out here trying to get through tonight.
Now, Moses, you guys came in under caution earlier to make an adjustment. How was your car handling at the time where you got involved with the 44?
You know, we've been adjusting on the car all night, and it's finally starting to come around. And, you know, I think we're going to have a good car for this next segment of 100 laps. I mean, the Haas Pool Products crew and the BMR team has been really just hustling on this thing tonight.
Thanks, Moses. Now down to Ralph.
Well, we're waiting to work our way in here. Mike Duncan's getting a fresh drink. They're getting ready to put left side tires on. Mike, how is your car, and what kind of changes are you going to make?
Well, I tell you, it's real good. Obviously, we're up front. The car's a little bit free coming off, but you know, talking with my crew chief, I'm almost afraid to make a change. He's going to make a little change. I just feel like the car's about as neutral as we can get it. The 44 was definitely fast. Too bad that happened to him, but hopefully we can do it. This is a good spot to be in right now at this time of the race.
Well, Sean Case set a blistering pace for the first 100 laps. Do you think the second 100 will be as quick?
I don't see how it could be any different. I mean, I know the pace they would have set. I'm going to push this thing as hard as I can push it without abusing it. I think that's what you got to do, because those other guys are going to make adjustments. They're going to be right up my tail. You know, I got to go.
Jim?
Down here, David May, who has made his way into the top 10, and you avoided a big one, David. What was the maneuvering on the 21 car? Looks like you drove very quickly through a crash on the backstretch.
Yeah, at the beginning of the race, we got held up in some traffic, just trying to bide our time. But the Golden Gate Bay Meat Company Chevy was going good there at the end. The longer we went, the better the car got. So I think we moved our way up into the top 10 somewhere. Hopefully this next 100 get up in the top 5, then go racing.
I talked to your crew chief before the race, Steve Portengate. He said the first 50 laps are critical. That's what we'll gauge for our final 50. What are your thoughts now?
Yeah, no, that's what we need to work on. Right now, we weren't very good the first 50. The second 50, the thing really came alive. So that's what we're working on, making some changes right now. Steve's one of the best in the business, so he'll get this thing going good the first 50 laps, so we got some at the end there.
They certainly want to put on a good show for the boss as well. Richard Childress called them and wished them well earlier today. This is the development team for Childress Racing. Ralph?
Brian Eichler's in his car getting ready to go. Brian, what kind of adjustments did you make?
You know, we started the run out a little bit, a little on the free side, so we put a little spring rubber in the left rear, and hopefully we'll be tight enough to get this NASCAR in victory lane.
You were driving pretty aggressively in that first 100. Do you plan to go just as hard this next 100?
Yeah, you know, we started off strong, just tried to run it hard. We burned up that right rear tire pretty good at the end there, a little too sideways, so hopefully this adjustment will fix it, and we can stay up there and not abuse the car so much.
Jim?
Down here, the Mike Johnson. He won last night's qualifier, and he's also won the big one, this showdown a couple years back. And I got to wonder, Mike, a lot of these guys only got qualifying to get these cars set, then they were impounded. Did the 50-lapper last night help you at all to this point?
Yeah, it's doing what I expected it to do. Did the same last night. Problem is we're only limited to certain adjustments, and one adjustment I probably need we're not allowed to do. So we're going to do the best we can, dial it in a little bit more, keep the fenders on it, and maybe we can get up front a little bit more.
Certainly trying to get his way to the front, guys, from 21st. Ralph?
Well, last year's winner, Matt Koblik, you're sitting third after the first 100. How happy are you with that?
Yeah, I mean, the car's really not performing the way we need it to right now. I mean, we made some adjustments here to try and free it up a little bit in the middle of the corner. We get that out of it, and it's going to be lights out. I mean, we're just a little too tight in the middle. I'm a little late picking up the gas, and hopefully these adjustments here, which I think they will, should straighten that out, and we're going to be pretty good.
They were talking earlier about how you tend to go differently than what you did the year prior when you were here. How different is your race setup right now compared to what you won with here last year?
Well, you know, I'm just trying to go on the racetrack where other guys aren't. You know, if I'm going to pass somebody, it's going to be down low. And the car is working pretty good down there, where I think once I get it freed up a little when I'm running up top, it's going to help it a little down low, and I'll be able to make some headway there. I mean, obviously we don't have very far to go, but we don't want to drop back at all. And this last 100-lap segment here, we'll see what these adjustments do. Then we'll make our final adjustment, see if we went the right direction.
100 laps complete in the 5th annual NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown at Irwindale, California. We'll run another 100 and then a final 50 laps to determine the winner. Let's have a look at what's happened so far. Sean Case, number 44, started from the pole. Joey Logano alongside. Mike Duncan made the move for second as Case sprinted away from the field. Lap 13, a two-car tangle. Then on lap 29, Antonio Perez, the 12, went up and over. 3, Stephen Barry spins at lap 42. And then something gaining on the leader, Moses Smith, who turned Sean Case around. And after leading every lap so far, Case's night was over. Mike Duncan took over the lead, and he led them onto pit road for the lap 100 competition caution. Welcome back to Irwindale. Mike Joy, Dick Bergman, Darrell Waltrip with you as Mike Duncan gets set to lead them down to the green flag once again.
Well, this is when I think, you know, the crew chiefs have earned their money. The guy that made the right changes, we'll see it right away here. I look for Logano to get a lot better. I think he was maybe holding back a little bit. Maybe his car wasn't just right. I think that 16, if they tighten him up and get him off that right rear, he could check out on these guys.
Double file restart all the way through in this division. So the leader has what at Irwindale looks like the disadvantage of having to start on the inside.
It seems that way, except that he can go first.
Yeah, that's true. Jim?
Well, guys, Eric Davidson and the 50 car was actually in this piece all season long for Bill McAnally. It's the lone Toyota in the field. And this former Mesa Marin Raceway track champion was telling me in detail all the small things. Had to be a checklist of 8 or 9 things he did at this 50 car to try to get him better than 7th on the grid here. But he certainly has a smiling crew. Bill McAnally patting everybody on the back in the Green Frog roasting Toyota. Davidson might have something for these guys, being a local boy and all.
Could well be. Ryan Foster gets the free pass on the caution flag, so he gets his lap back. 4 cars will go to the back of the field for not completing their work in time during the caution period. They are Alex Haas, David Mayhew, Ben Walker, and Woody Pitcat. So when we restart, we'll have 29 cars on the lead lap. 31 cars running. We'll make that 36 cars running, 4 in the garage. They are Sean Case, along with Barry, Therio, and Ranger.
A couple of them starting to look like modifieds out there. They only come out with no front fenders and the hood missing, but they're back out there going.
That's right. There is a team competition between the NASCAR West Series and the Busch East Series, and there's some bonus money involved. At 100 laps, the West leads the team competition 17:08 to 15:52, points awarded based on the positions of those drivers. And at the next competition yellow at lap 200, that's when that bonus money will be paid to either the Busch East or the NASCAR West teams.
What do you think, Doc? Did you make the right changes? You gonna be good this 100 laps?
Hope so, but you got one more chance at it, Darrell. If you don't get it right this time, you got one more shot.
So what you're saying is don't get excited till the last 50 laps.
Yeah, well, no, you're going to get excited. I guarantee you're going to get excited.
Now they have the 65 position right behind the safety car, and that is to speed things up on these restarts because he is the free pass car. He will now be waved around on 1 to go, and Ryan Foster will come around to the tail end of the field and will have picked up one of the laps that he has lost. Jim?
Quickly, guys, Eddie McDonald and the team, led by Roy LaChance, made very small changes. The car was a bit loose. You talked about the underfunded team. I couldn't even recognize him. Everybody has a different crew uniform on, but they're coming together here on Eddie McDonald's cause. He locked in by winning a race earlier this year. He's only raced 8 times in the series thus far.
That's right. The rule is all crew members have to be in uniform. They don't have to be the same. All right, let's go racing. 100 laps complete. They stopped scoring as of the competition yellow, and now we'll restart.
See what I mean about the 9? He gets to go first.
Yeah. And did he ever? What a restart he got.
Oh, boy, Kovaluk tried him on the bottom. And it's 3 wide. Sellers sticks his nose in there in the white 83.
You're going to see some exciting racing here for a few laps. Everybody on new tires. They made the right changes, hopefully, and the cars are going to be a lot better in this contest.
So watch it carefully. That yellow car on the bottom is Mike David. Crashed in qualifying, had to start tail end, rebuilt the car, and he has passed a bunch of cars on this restart.
Mike David is up to 9th.
From last. What a story it would be if he could win this thing.
I think it's a great story, just the fact that he's in this race and the car's running as well as it is, Doc. I mean, that thing was torn up.
Oh, it really was, Darrell.
I looked at it. I looked at it on the line. It looked good.
Yeah, but you know what you really needed to look at? See it with the hood up, where you can see all that fresh metal underneath that they had to weld onto the frame.
Fifth place battle. Eddie McDonald, the 48. Brian Eichler, the 16. And the 50 of Eric Richardson.
I'm going to tell you what, this McDonald is a wheelman, and he is doing an absolutely fabulous job with that automobile. That's another one car, one motor operation, or at least it is this year. He's got a full-time ride next year.
I'll tell you what else, too, Doc. Back there, you see the 16 car. It doesn't run so good tightened up. It was running a whole lot faster when it was sideways up off the corner. They may have over-adjusted that car because as good as it was with him running sideways, it's not sliding around like it was, but it's not going anywhere either. Maybe it'll get better in the run here.
You see that red number 4? He has found a 4th groove on this racetrack right down there below the white line. And he's making it work.
That's the Andy Santerre line.
Yeah,
that's where Andy ran here 2 or 3 years ago, and
Andrew Myers
almost pulled off the win.
But that's Andrew Myers, the driver, and he has previously won here in West competition, so he knows what he's doing.
Got Eric Holmes, 62, in the midst of that battle. Mike Olson, 61.
Olson also started in the back.
I'll tell you, when you come in and get you 4 of those Mr. Feel-Goods, you can go out there and put on a show for a while. You can run anywhere you want to.
This is one where you don't want to wear him out too much, Darrell, because if you go sliding in the back, that's where the trouble happens.
Well, I think that's what we heard out of Eichler. You know, his right rear was gone.
Yeah.
They've adjusted that car. It might get better in the long run because it really fell off at the end of the 100 laps in the first segment.
Now, if he tosses that thing in the corner, can he warm up that right rear and loosen the car a little bit?
I heard him say put a spring rubber in the left rear. That'll put a little bit more pressure on that left rear tire, and that'll tighten that car up. Probably drop the air pressure a little bit. It'll take,
oh, trouble.
Yikes, he just turned to 29 around.
Sure did.
Caution at lap 110.
29, Nick Lynch.
It's a hard hit.
Yeah, the little boy Eichler, he's a wheel man, but he's a little aggressive too.
Well, see what happened here.
He's got a run coming off the corner here, and it almost looks like what happened to the 44 and the 78.
Yeah, hitting almost exactly the same
spot.
Yeah, you can see the tire mark on the wall where Sean Case hit it earlier.
Same song, second verse. That is the fourth caution flag from racing, not counting the comp yellow. Dale Earnhardt Jr. steps into the wind tunnel with Dave Despain tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on Speed.
Oh, he'll be a tired puppy, too. 500 laps at Martinsville. Takes his toll on that old left leg.
113 laps complete. Mike Duncan the leader, Matt Kobaluk second, and once again the free pass car is Ryan Foster, who will make up another of his laps. Here's Jim.
Guys, Nick Lynch running in the top 10, down the front stretch, got turned. They came in and just pulled the right front bumper off of the right front tire. All they had to do then is hope that all four tires hold air. If the tires are not down or cut or flat, they can't change them. So Nick flat spotted them slightly. They looked it over, just right front fender pulled out on the front of his Dodge.
Boy, that's hard to believe, Jim,
is.
because that car, the corner of that car, hit that concrete hard.
Yeah, he jumped up in the air, so Rockstar is pretty tough.
Ralph?
Mike, I talked to Bill McAnally, the man who owns the 16 car of Brian Eichler, and he said, yeah, you know, we went just a little too far in tightening him up. The car was just way too loose at the end of that first 100 laps. They made air pressure adjustment, wedge adjustment, plus the new tires like Darrell was talking about. Just tighten the car up a little bit more. He thinks it's going to come around, but they're going to have to get a happy medium there because with a 50-lap sprint, you're really going to need that car to be good right away.
Well, that's the good news, Ralph, is they've got one more chance to adjust on it when we have the competition yellow at 200 laps. Duncan and Kobaluk now for the restart.
But that's a good thing. I mean, they were too loose. Now they're too tight. So for the 50 laps, they ought to be able to nail it.
Like making porridge.
Sort of.
This bowl, well, this bowl's too hot. That bowl's too cold. Right. You remember the story?
Yeah, well, I do.
I know
now.
it was a while ago.
A couple of weeks.
Come on, work with me here, will you?
Hey, Doc is a nursery rhyme.
Green flag.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Kobaluk on that upper lane.
Oh, boy.
He's looking fast. Looking real fast.
Looking for the lead.
He is.
Got the momentum off that corner, and Duncan's going to have to really, really fight back, but he's got a lot of speed right in the middle of the corner. Can he put the slide job on him? No, not that time. But I bet he does here.
And way to the bottom goes Joey Logano in the 20.
Yeah, I felt like Logano would be a lot better in this 100-lap segment here. That's too good a car, and he's too good a driver to be back there where he was in that first 100-lapper.
This is looking like they're ready to go 3 deep, and at this point, that's not the best of ideas.
A little early for that.
Yeah, it is. But there it is.
Oh, this is Irwindale at its finest now,
yes.
folks.
Yes.
3 wide and handsome.
Kobaluk now on the bottom, trying that one.
If Joey Logano's car looks a lot like one of Tony Stewart's, there's good reason.
Yeah, it used to be one of Tony Stewart's cars. Hand me down.
Well, these are basically Busch cars.
Cup cars.
Cup cars.
Or Busch cars. Some of these cars are 105-inch wheelbase, some are 110. Look at Logano way on the bottom. Kobaluk in the middle. Duncan on the high side.
The only way you can make that bottom really pay off is when you're down there, the guy on the outside gets a little loose coming up off the corner, and you can kind of slide up in front of him.
You know, as we watch Duncan lead all these laps, realize he has run every single one, all 4 of these showdown races, but he just hasn't been able to put together a great finish. Crashed last year, finished 16th, 23rd in 05, 4th, good finish, his best in 04, and 17th the first year we came here. So he's run fast, he's been consistently good, just hasn't been able to put together what he's looking for, which is that big checkered flag.
You know, this would be a very difficult track to spot on, because there's times in the middle of the corner where the guy on the inside is clear up, but by the time the spotter probably told him, the hole is closed up. So you got to really be anticipating to be a good spotter here.
Right with Eichler.
What you don't see is the car right alongside him to his right that he almost slid up into in turn 2. That's the 48 of Eddie McDonald. McDonald wisely lets him go.
Yeah. He's probably been watching the same race I've been watching.
Car in the wall, turn 4, and he gets away, and that is 78 Moses Smith. No caution.
See, Duncan now has opened up a bit of a lead.
How about Eric Holmes in the 62? Last year at the white flag, he was second, and he and Sean Case got into it in turn 4 of the final lap, and Holmes ended up spinning around. Now, oops, little contact there.
Yeah, almost. And he crashed in practice, and so he was very tentative in qualifying, did not have the best of qualifying runs, and doing well right now. He started the race in 25th spot.
The other thing about that bottom lane, Mike, is you try to intimidate that guy on the outside. You really just try to get up there and push him up there to the point where he's got a lift to let you in. So there's a lot of games that are played here on this racetrack.
Well, here's old. Well, I wouldn't say old. Older. Okay.
If you say old, I'm going to listen.
I got to be careful with this one. I've really got to be careful with this one. Matt Kobaluk is 37 years old, and Logano is 17 years old. So there's a little difference between the two of them. But no, 37 is not old. Not where I stand anymore.
Mike has a saying about that old age.
Old age and treachery.
Yeah.
Versus youth and enthusiasm.
That's it.
This kid Logano is more than just enthusiasm. He is so smooth. So fast. So is Peyton Sellers. Peyton Sellers will not abuse his equipment. He'll bring it home in one piece time after time after time, and he'll get every mile an hour out of that car.
That's that white number 83, and he has driven a very conservative and smart race so far.
You know why? Because he has to fix it.
Exactly.
Yes.
That makes a great driver, in my opinion.
Ralph?
Mike, I went and was listening to Scott Tapley. That's the spotter for Matt Kobaluk, and Daryl's exactly right. You really have to predict what that driver behind you is going to do, and that's what Scott's doing for Matt Kobaluk. As they come down the front straightaway or the back straightaways you're watching, he'll say, Logano's going to go inside. He's setting you up, and that's exactly what happens. He gives him a really good indication way before he gets to the corner as to what's going to happen. And Daryl, I think a big part of that allows him to do that is just the shape of this racetrack. It's easy to tell where that guy's going to go from where he points his car.
No, I think you're right. And Mike was talking about that accident earlier where the guy's kind of all of a sudden just bombed in there. You know, it takes a spotter that can really look ahead and figure out what's going to happen and help the driver on this racetrack. Because, again, it's momentum, and you try to stay in the throttle as much as possible, a lot like Daytona or Talladega.
Now watch Joey Logano in the 20. Lap after lap, he's been inside Matt Kobaluk, trying to get second place away. And how much of that car is he using up? He's got to get another 67 laps out of it before the next break.
I tell you, he's a smart driver, and I've watched him race quite a bit in the Hooters and in these cars, and he seems to know the edge, and he doesn't seem to push it over there. And what he's hoping for right now is that Kobaluk would possibly get a little bit loose and he could get in front of him, because he is definitely faster.
So Brian Eichler, car number 16, that was having trouble with that push earlier. Push seems to have somewhat at least gone away, and he is now part of this mess too.
Well, that's what a little bit of a snug race car will do. It'll free up with you as the run goes on, and that's what they were anticipating. But like we said, can't have that thing that tight in the 50 lapper or he'll get run off and left.
Logano keeps inching away at Kobaluk. He's got him by a car length. That goes down to half a car length as Kovaluk rockets off the corner. Sellers, the white car, right there. And so is Eichler.
But he's got him this time. He's going to slide up, clear up, and he's long gone now.
So Joey Logano, who started second, is back up to second. Mike Duncan is your leader at 137 laps. Mike Duncan has company. It's that Halloween painted Joe Gibbs Performance Oil, number 20 of Joey Logano from Middletown, Connecticut. Middletown's that part of Connecticut where 2/3 of the people cheer for the Red Sox and 1/3 for the Yankees. The Sox won tonight 12-2 as we edge closer to the World Series on Fox. I wonder if that means good things for the East drivers here tonight. Not if Mike Duncan has anything to say about it.
I tell you, Duncan is a smart cookie. He used a slow car there to put a pick on the 20 car of Logano. Logano had a run on him and could have gotten by, but he pinned him in behind a slow car, boxed him.
Peyton Sellers has fallen back to 5th place and away from this scrap for the lead. Got a little boxed up there in traffic, and I think he's just decided to ride this one out. We've got 52 laps to go to the next break.
Well, that 16 car is back sliding sideways again, and here he comes.
And here comes Logano on the bottom, and I just got a look at his right front brake. It is cherry red, glowing. Logano using a lot of brake in that number 20 car on the bottom. There it is, cherry red.
When you go on the bottom like that, Doc, you got to blow the car up getting in. That way you get a good run up off the corner. So you got to use a lot of brake to get her slowed down getting in. And he's driving it real hard down into the turn.
Well, he better, because here comes Eichler.
That car is back sliding sideways. She's looking good now.
So it's a three-way fight for the lead. Duncan, Logano, and Eichler.
And the thing I like about the 16 car of Eichler, he can run the bottom and maintain a pretty good pace.
Ralph?
Mike, the problem is it took him 50 laps to get the car absolutely perfect, which is where it is right now. Remember, they're only going to have a 50-lap run. As you watch these three cars, everybody's brakes are cherry red except for Eichler's. His car is just working beautifully through the entrance and the middle section of the corners right now.
And Ralph, I know we make a big deal out of glowing red brakes. They do it in the Cups. They do it all the time. These brakes today are made to do that.
Trouble ahead, Darrell. Look at that pack of lapped cars ahead of the leaders. That's going to be a tough one to weave through because those fellas are racing hard at it and trying hard to stay on the lead lap. What will Duncan do here? Oh boy.
I like Eichler because he seems to really do the bottom and be able to maintain a good speed and not lose a lot of time. Watch him right here, Mike. All the way on the white line, powers down in there, and then it's got good. He can really get up off the corner. That's a pretty powerful move right there. There he goes.
Yeah. Plus that top lane is going to fill up in front of Mike Duncan.
Well, you go where they're not. And look, I mean, it paid off for him. Watch him dive bomb to the bottom when he needs to.
And Logano with him.
That's where they really helped that car getting into the corner. Still a little bit dicey getting off, but man, it really helped it getting in, whatever they did to it.
So Duncan winds up third as a result of all that traffic. From first.
Well, what they tell the lap cars, they don't tell them go to the bottom or the top. They tell them hold your line and let the leader find his way around you.
On this racetrack, that's exactly what you have to do. I mean, they're really the top's probably the most preferred line, but really, truly, you can run anywhere you want to.
Well, it's the witching hour. It's midnight on the East Coast. So welcome to Sunday.
After midnight, we're going to let it all hang out.
I think they've been doing that behind the wheel of these race cars. Duncan is still mired in traffic.
That's a problem when you have a car that'll only run one lane. I mean, he's been pretty...
Trouble turn one. Hard hit into the barrier that protects the entrance to the garage area, and that is Moses Smith.
My, he knocked the fire out of that.
Sure did.
Lap 158. That's the 5th caution of the night, not counting the comp yellow.
Good to see him moving around in there.
Wow, he hit hard. Right where Eric Harden hit last year.
Yeah.
Same spot, same amount of damage to the foam blocks and the tires that are stacked there and cabled together.
they've done a really nice job of protecting the end of that wall with all that foam and the tires and everything. That could have been very serious.
So let's ride along and see what happened.
Oh, yeah. You know, I heard something pop, like maybe he blew a right front tire.
And he hooked it here in the front straightaway.
I think he blew a right front tire, and when he did, maybe he got hit from behind.
You can see he's okay. Taking a minute here to get unstrapped and climb out.
See if we can look at this again and listen for the tire to pop. And then apparently either the car just took a right-hand turn or he got tagged.
And there was some noise there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think he popped the right front and got it in the wall. And maybe they couldn't steer the car and it just tried to go through that opening into the garage back there.
So they're going to have to bake this cake of styrofoam blocks once again, as we saw last year. So we're under the red flag. Eichler in the 16, green flag.
The even restart there in the 16 and hit a big jump, but watch him dive to the bottom. Logano to the top. And Logano is going to come off with a little more momentum. And into the lead he goes momentarily.
Kovaluk on the outside, and that 40 is in the lane he likes best here.
So he's up for third.
Cars, they tighten him up. And what happens, folks, when you tighten a car up? It's just a little slow on the restarts. Take a few laps to get some heat in the tires. Then the car comes around and frees up, and he's able to run a little better.
I think for these next 37 laps, he's going to need to run a lot better if he's going to catch and have a shot to pass Joey Logano, because Logano is headed away from the field, I think.
Well, we've seen that 20 car in other events this year. Once he gets out front, he's pretty hard to handle.
Still a lot of 3 wide mid-pack.
Got that right.
Everybody's scrambling. That's Mike Olson on the bottom, 61. Mike David leading that group in the number 2. This race is for 9th place.
It's just amazing how nice everybody is to each other right now. Yeah, I'll let you in right now. Okay, yeah. You go ahead. I'll give you a little room.
That'll go away in a while.
No.
Won't be long either. Mike Olson in that number 61 car has come back from the back of the pack. He's right now in the 12th spot.
Yep, he and Mike David, the 2 yellow cars, started in the back row due to repairs after qualifying, and have worked their way up to right around 10th place.
I'll tell you, that 20 car with Logano on board, that thing is it's about like that 44 did at the beginning of the race. When Case was pulling away and running off and leaving everybody. Very similar.
He's had quite a year, Darrell. That young man, his first ever start in the Busch East, he won it. His first ever start in the West Series was in Phoenix. He qualified on the outside of the front row, won that race too, won the championship for the East Series, and Rookie of the Year. Nobody's ever been Rookie of the Year and champion in the same year.
When I first heard of him, of course, I'm sure you know this, Mark Martin, the kid had to only be about 14 years old. Mark was saying, who's the next big deal? Who's the next hot star coming up? Mark time and time again said Joey Logano. Just remember that name. Good call. It was.
Mike Duncan, Matt Kovaluk. This is for 3rd place. There's your lead. With Eichler in 2nd. And here's the race for 3rd.
Interesting backgrounds on these cars that are running toward the front. Joey Logano racing out of Joe Gibbs, where they have all the current technology, all the knowledge in the world. Brian Eichler operating out here at the West Coast, a lot harder to get that technology. Matt Kovaluk operating out of a small garage in the middle of Connecticut. They make a few phone calls now and again to find out what's the hot setup, what should we be doing. Peyton Sellers with his family team, and he's right in there in 5th spot.
That's what makes a race like this so much fun to watch. You take all those factors and you put it all out on the table, and that doesn't make anybody necessarily an odds-on favorite, because it's how you tune these things up and how you set them up that makes the difference.
And one more thing, how hard you're willing to work.
Yes.
How hard you're willing to work in the garage, how much you're willing to put into it.
Of course, McAnally, you know, he's had some great support from Childress, and that's made a big difference, and that's always been a premier car out here.
Sure has. 3 cars in this event owned by Bill McAnally.
Mike Olson, 61, trying to go to work on Eric Richardson in the number 50. And with him, the 21 of David Mayhew and the 63 of John Salemi.
Olson crossed the line first in this race last year. Post-race inspection, it was discovered that his wheels were illegal. They took the win away. So he's got a motive to do. 2 years ago.
That's right, David.
2 years
David
ago.
Gilliland got the win.
Yeah, Kovaluk won it last year, 2 years ago. Thank you, Mike.
And Olson's teammate, Woody Pitkat, has taken his Chevy behind the wall.
Get busy there, isn't it?
Yep.
I don't
Slow car, caution, front straightaway, Tim Woods. I don't think that was the result of contact, but down in turn 1, there is a car in the grass that
Lynch
did hit.
Yep, and that's his second crash of the night for Nick Lynch.
He's got some damage on the right side there.
So lap 178, that is the 6th yellow, not counting the competition yellow. Now that car was damaged earlier in a crash.
Yeah, he hit the wall here on the front straightaway.
Right, on the inside.
Yeah, on the inside, much like the 44 car did. And we were surprised when he went in. All he did was pull the fender out because it took a hard leg.
Now, he would have been eligible for the free pass, except that he is the cause of the caution. So, let's see, that drops down to the next eligible driver, I believe, which I think would be Greg Persley.
Calling for a record. Be no free pass. NASCAR said none.
So, caution rears its ugly head again, and we'll be back to Irwindale after this. Joey Logano, Brian Eichler, Matt Kovaluk, Mike Duncan, Peyton Sellers, Eddie McDonald. That's how they line up.
Here come up through the gearbox, second, third, fourth.
Kovaluk gets a good jump from third starting spot. Now he's in second behind Logano.
Eichler just didn't get going on that restart.
Yeah, that 16 car, it just, the way the change they made to the car, it takes it 4 or 5 laps to really get freed up and get going. They'll obviously have to adjust on that thing before the 50 lap.
Oh, 3 wide in 3 places in the middle of this pack.
Well, we're jockeying for positions in the last 50 laps here, Mike, so every spot's important right now. Closer to the front you get, better chance you got of doing good.
81 Brett Thompson up on the outside of Mike David. They thought about 4 wide there.
David and Olson, the 2 guys that had to start the tail end of this race.
Oh, 16's in trouble, guys. Got a right front down or something.
Limping around the high side, Eichler. Everybody's going to get by him. Just.
Wow, he almost got wiped out right there, right here. Man, it's lucky he hadn't gotten run over.
Now he's got to get to the pit. And another potential winner falls by the wayside as Brian Eichler pits. So it's Logano, Kovaluk, Duncan, and Sellers. Tough break for Eichler. He's going to lose a couple of laps here.
He's got a soft right front. He's coming down pit road to get that replaced. Maybe he made contact with somebody. Let's see if we can see. No, you see the tire going soft right there and thing bottoming out. Did a good job of keeping it out of the fence.
Uh-oh, turn 2, and a car goes around.
Oh, here they all come. Oh,
baby.
Oh, no.
25's in it.
That's his second.
Philpott?
He was Philpott was in that other wreck over here when Michelle got hurt.
The car that spun, I believe, was the 5 of Eric Harden. And then Philpott and others became involved. Well, and here's why.
That car in the middle right there, he just gets loose off of 2, spins her around. No harm, no foul yet, but here comes another car, the 25. He locks down and spins out, makes a little contact.
Eric Harden running his own stuff. Oh,
no,
baby.
The 40 car.
Matt Kovaluk now with a flat tire on the right front.
What is going on?
First Eichler, then Kovaluk.
He's had a little you can see some contact with the wall.
Yeah.
It's scraped down the right side. Not much. But you see both tires on the right side like he's made contact.
I don't see any scrape damage. See a little bit of fluid or something on there, but I want to go back to Brian Eichler when he cut down his tire and see if I saw one big spark first, as if he ran over a piece of metal on the track.
I think that's just the car bottoming out from the flat tire. Yeah.
All right. Let's just take a look at.
So I think what you'll see is.
How ironic! Look who's in front of him.
The tire just. The car bottomed out once the tire went soft.
No, you're right.
Kovaluk's losing a lap right here.
So Eichler and Kovaluk, the defending champion, both
Eichler
falling off the lead lap.
I'm not sure about the free pass. I guess we're inside 10 laps now, which makes sense.
That would be at lap 240, Darrell. It's
240.
only when it's 10 laps to the checker, not 10 laps to the comp yellow.
And so Eichler, he got lucky here with this caution coming out. He was coming out of the pits when the caution came out.
But he is a couple of laps down.
Is he 2 down?
Yeah.
I was just wanting to see if he was 1 or 2 down.
Let's show you what put us under caution as the 5 goes around Eric Harden.
Yeah, he just in that middle lane right there. Car gets loose on him. Everybody does a really good job. I thought this was going to be a really major pileup, but everybody gets through here pretty nicely, except for the 25.
Philpott.
Yep. Remember him? He was involved in that wreck up in the 3rd and 4th corner earlier tonight.
Everybody else just kind of jostled their way through. Ralph, have you had a chance to look at that tire off Brian Eichler's car?
Yeah, we sure did, Mike, and it took them quite a while to find it. They finally had to fill the tire up with air and look for a hole, and we found it. It is right here. Something just cut this tire. A little slit on the inside of the tire, let all the air out, and that's what ruined Brian Eichler's night. We'll check on Matt Kovaluk for you.
Boy, on the inside.
Which makes me think that maybe a brake duct or something like that could have been rubbing on that tire since it's on the inside. But, you know, when you tighten the car up, you put a lot more pressure on that right front tire.
Yeah.
You've got to crank the wheel a little harder to make the car turn. Maybe the low air, maybe the thing was rolling under a little bit and cut it on the, I've seen it do it on a sway bar arm, brake ducts, any number of things. Can do that on the inside.
He's got a lot of laps at this point, nearly 200 laps on the racetrack.
And the free pass is Jim Engelbright. He was the first car 1 lap down at the time of caution. So we'll get the restart with roughly 5 laps to go to the final competition yellow of the night. And we're going to hold 1 more lap as the tail end of the field sorts itself out here.
Engelbright with the Jelly Belly car he was just mad at himself that he didn't qualify better. Told me this afternoon it was either going to be wreckers or checkers. He was going to run exceptionally hard tonight.
Well, he's back on the lead lap.
Got a lucky break there.
So it'll be Logano and Duncan up front. Peyton Sellers, Eddie McDonald, Eric Holmes, and Brett Thompson. There's one more look at. Here's Ralph.
Mike, you saw that little hole on Brian Eichler's tire? Look at this one on Matt Kovaluk's. The entire inside here blown out huge, just ripping it right away from the rim. All that air escaping out of there. Now, I talked to the crew. They said earlier they had some brake heat issues. I don't know if that heated this Goodyear up too much and blew it out. But whatever did it, it was big.
Yeah, that's brake heat. When you see the bead busted like that, more than likely that's from brake heat. And we had noted, you know, that
glowing rotors.
The brakes that we see on these cars today, they can glow red like that and work perfectly fine. But what can't handle all that heat is the tire. And on Cup cars, they have bead blowers to keep the heat off the tire. Now, I'm not sure about these guys.
I bet they'll have them next year.
Somebody will, yeah.
Well, and remember, too, well, in fact, not most, but all the races that these teams run are shorter than this. Most of them are. Green flag with 4 to go.
Well, Logano took
to the
off.
yellow.
He did, and Peyton Sellers is looking pretty good there underneath Duncan. Can he make the pass?
Here comes Eric Holmes,
Yep.
62.
Peyton got in front of Duncan, and Peyton's been pretty patient all night long, but his car sure looks racy.
Here comes Eddie McDonald in the middle of that trio right behind him.
And here comes Mike David in the yellow deuce.
Well, everybody's coming. There's got to be some going.
As long as they're not going around the wrong way, everything is cool.
3 wide at 7th place.
4 wide.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough to do. It can be done here, though. I've seen it several times.
All right, any time now.
There you go.
We'll get the comp yellow.
Well, it won't be too soon for the
now,
car.
That would be a good. That would be a good time.
We're going to get a yellow, all right. I don't know if it's going to be on purpose or not.
There it
Mike
is.
David and that 81 were just body slamming each other for a while.
Well, they knew they were coming to the yellow.
Yep, David and Brett Thompson were really going at it.
They were.
And this will be the second and final competition yellow of the evening.
Now.
Following this, 50 laps of shootout.
Now, this is when they all look at it and say, hey, watch this.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, you thought that was good.
Here we go. See what happened to Woody Pitcat on that restart. Oh, my goodness.
He got the bump and dump.
Yes, he did.
He didn't anticipate the start too well.
Hard to anticipate that.
Well, he kind of just got driven into right in the door.
Well, the guy behind him really anticipated the start very well.
So they're going to open the pits and bring everybody in for their adjustments.
Logano leads them in, followed by Peyton Sellers, Mike Duncan, Eddie McDonald, Eric Holmes. That's your top 5.
Doc, I'm going to get me a hot dog. I'm going to get me a bag of popcorn. Get me some jelly bellies.
You go ahead and do that. I want to watch what these guys are going to do these cars.
I don't care what they're going to do on this stop right here. I want to see when I want to be ready for the restart. Baby.
Okay, that's going to be good.
All they talked about at Martinsville for the last 2 days is hot dogs up there.
Well, they're delicious.
Oh, they are.
That's a whole food group in itself. You eat one of those things, you got everything you need for about a week.
They glow red in the dark. Yeah, but boy, are they good.
They're good for you, too.
Yeah.
Whatever ails you, that'll fix it.
I wonder what the record is. I mean, there's a record.
I'm sure.
Something like 52 or something.
Oh.
Can you imagine that?
No.
$2 a piece. That's a bargain these days, though, come to think of it.
Now, you can't work on your car until every car is stopped and the green flag waves from the starter stand. That's when the 7 minutes begin that you're allowed for all of your work. There we go. The pits are open. That means that Jim and Ralph are going to be busy for these next 7 minutes.
Guys down here with Joey Logano's team. They're changing left side tires first. And Joey, your crew chief said you guys have made some wholesale changes. Boy, did this car come to life.
Yeah, it definitely did. We were real free in the beginning of the first run there. And they snug it up quite a bit. And it was pretty good there at the end. We were a little bit free off it too. So we'll see. I think we'll be pretty good.
Joey, how was your car about that red flag? Because that was about 50 laps into this second segment.
Yeah, that's pretty much when it started picking up, so we have to get it a little earlier. You know, I think the car is going to be real good. You know, we picked it up real quick that time, so, you know, the whole Joe Gibbs driven racing oil team did fantastic all day, and now we just got to finish this deal off.
All right, Joey, you've had 200 laps to figure this track out with multiple grooves. What's your focus, and what will it be over the final 50 laps?
You know, to win the race. You know, that's what we're here for. You know, it seems like top line's where I pretty much want to be. I can run the bottom if I have to, but top side's just getting a good run off the corner.
Let's check in with Ralph.
Mike Duncan getting a fresh drink. Mike, final adjustments. What are you calling for?
Well, I tell you, we made a little bit of an adjustment on that after that first 100. I didn't really care for it. It freed me up too much coming off the corner. We slipped back a little bit. I think the game plan is to put it back to like the way it was the first 100, and hopefully it's the right one. We need to pass a couple fast cars up there, and I'm sure there's going to be more coming. So we got our work cut out for us, but should be fun.
What's going to be your strategy in these final 50?
Get up on the wheel and drive as hard as I can.
Jim?
Well, they're beating bang a bit on Brett Thompson's left front fender. He's in the top 10 position, but Brett, it seemed like you were on a bumper car ride there in the final few laps of this segment. What was going on?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you asked me there. I got to thank Pets Bass Morris Animal Foundation. This car's doing awesome. You know, I was a little upset at the 61 car there on that last restart. I think he was a little aggressive for where we're at in the race, but looking forward to this last 50. I think we're going to make a few changes, make the car a lot better.
Now, Brett, when it comes to this race car, you need to have all four fenders on this thing with the final 50 laps. Do you think it affected your handling at all with the bumping and banging you did in the last few laps?
I'm sorry, my guys.
The bumping and banging, do you think it's going to affect your race car?
Yeah, you guys, hold on a second.
The bumping and banging, Brett, you think that had an effect, or will it affect your race car?
Repeat it, please.
The bumping and banging, you think that'll hurt your race car in the final 50?
Yeah, you know, this is definitely an narrow track. I think the guys will fix it. I don't know how bad it is. The two car got inside of me. I know someone was on the inside of him, beating and banging on him, and we'll get her fixed. We'll be all right.
Thoughts of Brett Thompson. Let's go down to Ralph.
Peyton Sellers, what are going to be your final adjustments here?
I'll tell you, we're going to jack up the track bar about 5.5 rounds on the right rear and just try to get it dialed in a little bit better. We've been tight all night, but it's showtime now, and you know, we got 50 laps to get it done right here.
I saw Andy Santerre over here giving you some encouragement through the window. What was he telling you?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Andy's just been a big help all year to me, and you know, I'll tell you what, we're going to try to pull the win off for these East boys. Andy's just giving me a little bit of advice. I know Sean and those guys had some tough luck, but you know, we're from the East, and we're all sticking together here.
How big would this be if this small family-run team can win this?
There's a lot of people back in Virginia right now that'd be ecstatic, so looking forward to it. We'll get up on this wheel and see what happens.
Jim.
Mike David got up to 8th now after starting dead last. You've got 50 more laps to go, Mike. What have you guys done to the race car?
Well, track's loosening up a little off. We ran the track bar down, pulled the spring rubber. I'm just a shade tight in the middle of 1 and 2, and that's hurting us a little bit, but it really runs good through 3 and 4. So, I don't know, got pretty hairy there at the end, 3 wide. That was exciting.
I have a feeling that may be a foretell of what's going to come in the final 50 laps here. How are you going to break free with these guys all around you?
Well, I mean, we're up into the top 10. You're not going to break free from them. They're all real good race cars, all real good race car drivers. So hopefully we made the right adjustments and see if we can't get 8 more of them.
The thoughts of West Series champion Mike David. Ralph?
Brian Eichler's focusing, getting ready. Brian, any idea how you cut that tire down?
You know, no idea. You know, just a lot of stuff out there on the track. We ran over something, obviously cut a tire, but you know what? This Napa team's the best guys out here, and we got to keep our heads up because we're going to get to the front right here.
If there's any consolation, you're going to be the beneficiary car. You're going to get your lap back. Can you get them with 50 to go the way you've been driving?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're sure going to try. It's going to be a good one to watch.
Jim.
Well, Eddie McDonald is at his race car. We mentioned about the not the biggest funded team, but man, you got a big heart tonight, Eddie. Great job thus far. What do you have for the final 50?
Yeah, I don't know. We just wanted to stay right in the top 5 there for the first 200 laps, and that worked out great for us. You know, New England Mechanical Overlays sponsors us, and Grimm Construction. Just can't thank them enough to get out here, and my crew's doing an awesome job. Rolly LaChance just doing a great job. We just want to be a competitive deal at the end there, and hopefully we can get a good run and fight for the win here.
Eddie, you sound a bit calm now, but how heated do you think things are going to get, and how good of a piece do you have to challenge Logano and those boys that are ahead of you?
Rolly's awesome. He made a few adjustments here, so we'll see what it's going to do. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot better than what it was, and it's going to get dicey up there, so hopefully everything goes good for us.
That's the 48 of Eddie McDonald's thoughts. Let's go back to Ralph.
And we were going to talk to Matt Kobelek, but they're firing the cars up right now, and he's going to make his way back down. Unfortunately, there's never been a repeat winner here, Mike, and it looks like that's going to happen again this year.
Thanks, Ralph. Getting set to go for the final 50 laps. course, laps that are run during this period do not count until we get ready to go green once again. Getting ready to close out NASCAR's short track season here in Southern California. Don't leave. Twists are good. We've sure had enough of them tonight as we go baback to green.
Isn't that
50 laps to go. And Joey Logano, number 20, Peyton Sellers, 83, fighting for the lead. You're kind of frequent visitor here.
Oh, I love this track. I love this evening in particular. My Toyota sponsoring this event. It's just amazing.
Eric Holmes up for 5th right now, side by side for 3rd, and for the lead. Sellers had it for a 2nd.
They are into each other, too.
Logano outside, Sellers inside. Duncan clears McDonald for 3rd, and Logano is back to the lead.
Eddie McDonald in that black car in 4th position. He's charging.
Sellers trying to get back to the front. Nope, Logano holds him off.
And you saw the red and black car, number 62, Eric Holmes. He's in it too. Ha! And look at the 2 car. Mike David. He's got a shot at it.
Eric Holmes just ahead of him. Holmes has done a good job working his way toward the front. Jim.
Guys, a chapter in the drama department for Eric Holmes in the 62. Just before the break, I heard radio chatter. He thought the engine had a miss. During the break, they checked it over. Nothing externally was wrong. They think they might have broken a valve spring or something like that. They're down on straightaway horsepower. He's got great turn speed, but look how they gobble him up down the straights.
Thanks, Jim. News just in that Michelle Theriot hit the wall hard in turn 3 earlier, transported to a local hospital. She's been checked over and released. That's good news. Here we go, 3 wide once again.
Mike Olson on the bottom in number 61. 4 wide.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Well, that's what we like about this place.
Oh, yeah. And these drivers are doing a great job of keeping the cars off each other while they're running so deep and so hard.
So Bill let us in. They got you. Oh, sorry, almost had a spin there as the 16 almost went around. Brian Eichler trying to fight his way up from the back. They got you in jail. How are they going to get you out?
Well, I've been out. Now I'm back in. I'm out. I'm in. It's the whole season this year.
Makes life interesting.
It sure does.
Boy, things are interesting here. There's a lot of bump and bang going on. And that 4 car right smack in the middle of it.
Andrew Myers, yep, a past winner at this racetrack in this type of car.
He just got a big shot from Mayhew in the 21.
Manners seem to be going out the window, Mike.
Yep.
The gentlemanly stuff we have seen is gone.
With 40 to go, absolutely.
And that 16 is coming as you look at the 3rd place battle. Duncan prevailing over McDonald for right now. Brian Eichler got the free pass, and he is on the way in that number 16.
What a pile of cars all together.
Oh, yeah. This looks like a prison break right here.
They're moving quick enough. Whoa. 16 almost got loose.
Yeah, Eichler almost got into the 21 of Mayhew. Now he's going to have to regroup and try it again. I don't think he's going to get back to the front without a caution or two. He just doesn't need to be one of them. You're riding with Brian Eichler. He has fought his way to 20th.
Lovelock on the bottom in the number 40. He had the flat tire. How wide are we going to go here? Maybe you want to try 4? 3's good. Lovelock sideways.
Oh, and Eric Holmes just about got squeezed into the wall right there. Saw Eichler just about slide the car away, coming off 4 that time. Now, a recheck of our scoring shows that Eichler is still 1 lap down, that he apparently lost 2 when he cut down that tire. Lost a lap getting to the pits, lost a lap in the pits. He got 1 of those back, so he is a lap down and not a factor. Mike Johnson, past winner of this event. A lot of smoke from his Johnson Lumber number 96. He's on pit road.
Kovaluk in the 40, however, is scored on the lead lap.
And he's in 6th place in that number 40. 34 to go.
Logano well out front of this, in the lead.
So Eichler won't be a factor in the final result. Boy, everybody's going to know he was here. Starting with the 7 or 8 guys whose paint he has on his car right now.
Yeah.
But no, he's driven a good race. Shame he had the cut tire. And it happened at a time that caught him down 2 laps. He's now down just 1. Another caution flag would put him back on the lead lap.
Duncan in 3rd spot in the number 9 car. He's from the West Coast. Eddie McDonald in the number 48 from the East Coast.
To go next time by. Bill, thanks for stopping by, visiting with us. Always good to see you here in Irwindale, and
stay out of jail.
Good luck getting out of jail on prison break. But
I gotta stay in jail. That way I'll finish the season.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
that's
well,
right. I gotta finish the season.
Okay, it's a race by race deal by the episode. So.
It's a pleasure to see you tonight. We'll see you next year for sure.
Okay, thanks for joining us. $29 to go, Darrell, and business is picking up.
Yeah, I got out of jail. He's going to go in for me. I just got out. No, you know, it's really amazing to me how the 40 car and the 16 car have fought their way back into this show. If they get a caution here, they can be contenders.
As has Mike David in the 2 car. He is a contender in 6th spot.
Bent frame and all.
Yeah.
And there's Kovaluk trying to take 6th away. Now they're running about 9 seconds behind Joey Logano, the leader.
And I'm going to take you into the minds of all those people who helped Mike David and who are behind him right now. And every one of them does not regret one bit helping him get that car back together again. They're all proud. They all played a role.
All right, scoring has now updated, and they are showing that Brian Eichler lost 1 lap. He is now back on the lead lap. And Eichler is scored as a 5th place car. So that's what we have for timing and scoring right now.
Yeah, he got to, I tell you, he got lucky. When he was coming out of the pits, there was a wreck over in turn 2, and the caution came out. Right. The field was frozen. He was able to come around. He only lost 1 lap. Then he got the lucky pass, the beneficiary, the free pass, put him back on the lead lap, and he is working. That is a good race car. If he gets a caution and he can get to Logano, he's got a shot.
So he will figure in the final result tonight. These things are updated. Logano, Sellers, Duncan, McDonald, Eichler, and then this battle, Matt Kovaluk and Mike David for 6th place.
Now, Kovaluk was running really well. He was right with Eichler for much of the coming through the field, but all of a sudden the 40 car kind of has given up some, and the 16 has gone on. He's out of sight.
The NASCAR West Series has won the team challenge against Busch East, and that will mean an extra bonus in their paycheck at the end of tonight.
I think when they lost Case in that first 100 lapper, and that hurt them as far as the point accumulation goes. And the West Coast guys, I mean, this is their home turf.
They'll get an extra $2,000 per car of those eligible to participate in the team bonus.
I was kind of afraid that the 20 car might stink up this last 50 laps here.
He's had quite a year for himself, Darrell. He's won 5 of 13, and had he not gotten knocked out of the lead at Dover, it would have been 6 out of 13. Nearly half the races he started, he won. And of course, he won that West race as well. Only ran 2 West races.
Now he's got a lot of traffic to deal with, though.
He does, yeah.
Don't you suppose that by the time he turns 18, he will have a job in a Cup car somewhere?
Well, he's going to have a job in a Busch car when he turns 18, and that's pretty well assured, and that will happen in May of 2008. He's another one of those Gemini guys, Darrell. Tail end of May, he turns 18.
But he doesn't spend much time in a Busch car.
I bet you're right. Well, he's already jumped right up. We got a car in the wall, turn 2. The 93 just grazed the wall up there. It's Ben Walker.
And that'll bring out the caution. It will. Want to thank Jim Williams, Bob DeFazio, and all the folks here at Irwindale. This is such a great little racetrack, and what a perfect place to have an event like this. A great equalizer between NASCAR West and the Busch East cars. And we're going to settle it when we come back. Race Day on Speed is looking for photos. So show us your colors of speed for a chance to see yourself on race day. They'll select the best photos, show it on the air, part of My Race Day. So upload your photos to speedtv.com, keyword My Race Day. Here's the rundown at 15 to go. Now Joey Logano's got to start on the inside. So does Mike Duncan, and so does Brian Eichler, and that's the passing lane. So watch those fellows lining up on the inside to go all out into turn 1.
Eichler is really, really good getting in.
Yeah,
so
he is.
Could really, really make a big move right here on the start.
And for geography, half of the top 10 are from the east, half are from the west.
Here's Ralph.
Mike, 2 issues for Peyton Sellers in that family run number 83 up in second place. One, you can see the rear bumper cover on the right side of the car has been ripped back a little bit. Hopefully that's not going to be a problem rubbing on a tire. The other issue is there's some smoke coming from out beneath the right rear of the car. Talk to the crew chief. They think maybe there's a little bit of oil just dripping on a header. They're hoping with just a handful of laps left to go, they can get a really good finish, maybe win this thing. It would be huge for that family run team.
Thanks, Ralph. You saw Darrell Haar, number 71, getting the free pass. So he's back on the lead lap in 20th place.
And that smoke's been coming out from under the 83 for quite a while. I don't think that's going to be a problem for him.
No, I'd just be worried about that bumper cover coming loose and that starting to flap and what NASCAR might have to do about that.
All right, Darrell, who do you like?
Well, I like the 20 I have all night, but I also like to see what that 16 is going to do. This ought to be exciting.
Here we go with 13 laps to go. Eichler did not get a good restart.
Spun the tires, Mike, when he tried to take off. Didn't have them cleaned up quite good enough. Spun them, but he recovered nicely.
Well, Logano got a good restart.
So did Sellers, and now it's McDonald against Duncan. Yellow. Backstretch. One car limping to the pits.
It's more like one half of a car limping to the pits.
Yeah, that's the 12 again. Antonio Perez of Mexico City.
He lost quite a bit of that car earlier tonight.
So we'll do this again. Now remember, scoring reverts to the last completed green flag lap. So we should have a restart order much like the last one. 12 is the white car just ahead. They're on board the 88.
Well, that'll do it. Round and round she goes.
Apparently he got in that feller's way.
That's why you're the expert analyst.
He got the good half, that's all I know.
Yeah. Now who do you like, Darrell?
Because on the inside it's Logano, then Duncan, then Eichler again.
Well, I don't think anybody's got anything for Logano. Eichler's going to have to do a better job on this restart. It cost him a little bit of a distance on that last restart. We'll see how it goes.
You know, this kid Logano is a rookie, and I think everybody watching right now knows he's not going to mess this up. He's not going to clutch. He's going to do it well.
Oh, he's rock solid. There's no question
he sure
about that.
is, Darrell.
Well, but now things are different because they just took 10 to go. And that means single file
Single
restart
file, yeah,
from here on out.
Which is going to help Logano.
Yeah,
I believe.
that'll help him a lot.
No, I'm sorry. Wrong series. Wrong rule book. Double file restarts.
Are they going to double it?
Good. Jim?
Guys, what might be a tool taken away from Peyton Sellers is what he told me before the race. Remember, he ran here last year, all year in the West Coast Series, so he's got experience here. He said, my best chance to pass on the bottom is when it's on a restart. The next 3 laps after restart, that's when I do my passing, on the bottom. However, with these double file restarts, Logano has that spot. Quick update from monitoring Joey's channel. He said he's just a bit loose off. So if he can get ahead of Peyton Sellers, I don't think anybody can grab him. But again, it is down to the restart, and it was a green-white checker this past season against Brad Layton, and Joey Logano came across on top and won a race against Layton in a very, very strong move and a green-white checker finish. So you're right, guys. This kid is rock solid.
Ben Walker gets the free pass. That's because the caution occurred before 10 laps to go, and that is the differential. After 10 laps to go, no more free pass.
And that deal with Layton was at New Hampshire International Speedway, and I watched every lap of that thing. And I'll tell you what, Logano was so smooth and so sharp, just like tonight.
Yeah, well, you know what makes a great race car driver is confidence. And no matter how old you are, 17 or 47, you have to have that confidence to be successful. That's what I see in this kid. He's very confident in his ability. He knows he's in good equipment. He doesn't make bad decisions. He doesn't have to. And I think getting in good rides really for these young guys is what really helps their development move along quickly. Surrounded by good people, obviously has the talent, takes advantage of it.
They have Joe Gibbs motor oil on that car. You cannot buy that for your street car. It's an oil specially formulated for racing engines with flat tappet cams, and it works really, really well. Lake Speed's son runs that division for Joe Gibbs. Lake Jr. Does a great job.
That's oil, right? As they say down south.
Oil. Yeah. What kind of oil you got in that car, boy?
Logano and Sellers, Duncan and McDonald, Eichler and Kobaluk. Mike David, Mike Olson, all the way from the back to 7th and 8th, those 2 yellow cars, as we're going to have 7 laps to settle it.
I don't know if my heart can take this.
Well, you know, this is the toughest thing right here is on the restart. Don't spin the tires, don't miss the shift.
Fairly slow restart coming off 4 by Logano.
See him go right up to the top.
Nice. Nicely done. Kobaluk trying to get to the bottom. And Eichler is there already. Duncan is there. Car on the wall, 2 of them. Turn 4.
4. Aaron Myers is in the wall. 81 Thompson in the wall.
Boy, Bill McAnally's having a tough night.
Well, that's a couple of hard hits.
And Moses had trouble in one of the McAnally cars. Now the 21 car.
Now the window that comes down on the 81.
Is that 21 is one of Bill's cars, isn't it? I know there's a Childress affiliation there. I know it's a Childress car. I don't like it when it gets quiet like that, young.
No, the window net's still up on Andrew Meyer's car.
It's not 20. Is that 21 or 81?
That's 81. It's Thompson. Yep, and he's out. He's okay.
Window net down in Meyer's car. Helmet is coming off. Yep.
Good news.
He's moving around in there, Mike.
Thanks, Dick. So let's ride along with Brent Thompson.
I said it. Remember I told you how you try to intimidate that guy that's on when you're on the inside, he's on the outside.
Oh. And the Ford just spun right across his bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first hit was bad enough. The second hit was what really did it.
Yeah.
Speed's coverage of the 5th annual NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown is brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward.
Well, Doc, I don't know. How many more times are we going to do this?
I don't know how many more times my heart can take this, to tell you the truth, Darrell.
They'll complete 248 this time by. They'll take the green with 2 laps to go.
We've got a lot of reason to cheer for everybody in the top 8 or 9 of these cars.
That's right.
Yeah,
too bad just one of them's going to win it.
Can't make any mistakes right here. That's all Joey's got to do is get a clean restart, not spin the tires.
Here we go.
Jump on Peyton, and he did.
Peyton stays up top.
Joey will slide up in front of him and should drive off.
Here comes Mike Duncan on the bottom once again.
Oh, here comes Peyton looking underneath him. Got him a little loose.
He sure
got
does.
him a little loose.
White flag.
Boy, I tell you what, Joey did a great job of hanging on to that thing because Peyton had him a little bit sideways. It's going to get tighter on this last lap, boys.
It's a 2-car race. It's all up to Peyton Sellers. Can he drop down and take the lead, or will Joey Logano get the biggest checkered flag of his career? Sellers gets loose. Logano wins it. Sellers second. Mike Duncan third. Matt Kovaluk, last year's winner, fourth. Eddie McDonald, top 5. Then Eichler, Holmes, Olson, John Salemi, and David Mayhew, the top 10.
I like the way that Peyton Sellers ran that last lap. He gave Joey a little bit of a love tap there to kind of let him know he wanted by, but nonetheless, he didn't spin him out and let Joey go. And good job on everybody's part that last lap. It could have been a mess.
A great finish.
Sure was. A great race. I mean, all the way through. Here's Logano trying to do the burnout in the middle of all this traffic.
I don't know if he knows it or not, but here's some cars coming.
He's got the front wheels locked up.
Well, that's how you do a burnout.
Yeah.
You lock up the front ones.
These guys better be careful driving in front of him.
Yeah, don't let the brake off.
Yeah.
You know, I know burnouts are fun and burnouts are exciting, and that's kind of what people do these days, but I'm getting really kind of tired of it. I like old school. Give me the flag. Let me ride around the
racetrack.
racetrack. Wave it to the fans.
Yeah.
That's
fireworks too.
That's the way I do it.
But look at that kid has done this year. Joey Logano won Rookie of the Year in the Busch East Series, won the championship in the Busch East Series, and now he wins the biggest short track race he can win.
Boy, I tell you what, does he have anything to look? Well, yeah, he does have a lot to look forward to.
He sure does.
Just not in this series.
Peyton Sellers has a lot to be proud of.
He does. That was a great job on
And
his.
so does Mike Duncan, who ran in the top 5 all night long, wound up finishing in the 3rd spot. Kovaluk coming back from that flat tire.
And except for the taillight panel on Sellers' car, all those cars finished the race intact.
Yeah, it was amazing how close they got to each other, but they never hit.
Ralph's in victory lane.
Now Joey Logano is crawling out, and he's about to get doused with water. Celebrating with the crew. Let's get him over here right away. Joey, congratulations on a huge win. How tough was it on that final restart?
Oh, we were running hard, that's for sure. And those restarts were tough. You know, had a real good car the whole night. You know, actually over-adjusted a little bit there at the end. It was a little bit free off the corners, but I tell you what, this team's unbelievable. You know, we were slow in practice, picked it up in qualifying, ran up front the whole race. Amazing.
Joey, there's a tremendous amount of hype about you, and you keep delivering. You've just won the biggest short track race of the year. How do you do that?
Gotta wheel it. That's all it is to it, and it's awesome. And it's a great team behind me. You know, everyone at Gibbs back at the shop is, you know, helped us out so much to get us here, and it's pretty amazing.
You win the Toyota All-Star Showdown, you are a wheelman. Jim.
With Peyton Sellers and the Strutmasters Chevy, man, you gave it everything you could. If you were on the bottom, you talked to me before the race about making a pass on a restart on the bottom. Could you have done it had the roles been reversed?
I tell you, it would be hard to say, but they put so much speedy drive down that last caution, the bottom wasn't going to work, and I knew that, and I give it all I had, you know. But, hey, we wasn't that good all night. We made a lot of changes during the breaks, and HC really tuned this thing in. I tell you, I just got to thank the good Lord for an awesome year this year, to come home third in points, to end up here finishing second. You know, Joey beat us tonight. He was better than us all night, and I don't mind getting beat by somebody like that. So he's been a class act all year, and he's had a dominant team all year. So we're gonna work hard to come back. I just got to thank strutmasters.com, Woodall Chevrolet of Danville. A lot of people back home watching, my grandparents, my mom, my dad. It really means a lot to me, this team. You know, we got a long trip back home now, but it'll be worthwhile.
And the volunteers from Danville will be smiling all the way home. Great job, guys. Back to Ralph.
Mike Duncan, you had a tremendous drive tonight. You come home third, and you proved that the old guys still have it, or the older guys maybe, but you don't know what you're doing yet next year. Will this third place finish help you?
Well, it can't hurt us. I mean, they obviously knew we were here. Logano's just seemed like when he decided he wanted to go to the front, just like at Phoenix, just like at Iowa, it just seemed like he just went. But can't take nothing away from him. He had a great car. I want to thank Lucas for all the years of support. And we finished strong just like we began it. Appreciate it.
Mike?
Thanks, Ralph. A great night. The kids started up front. 2 kids finished up front. What a great night of racing.
And it got the respect of all the competitors, too. They all seem to really like the kid. He shows them a lot of respect on the track. It's a good deal.
And this is the best of short track racing. Think about going to your local short track next year when it opens back up again.
A great night, and congratulations to Joey Logano and the Joe Gibbs team. Joey Logano is the 5th champion of NASCAR's Toyota All-Star Showdown. Good night, everybody.